Mr. Gase, Coach Gase.
3 weeks in a row. Thanks for having me on again. Appreciate it, guys.
I mean, Friday the 13th, a bye week after a week of some criticism, some stuff, and you join us on a Friday night, man. Coach Gase, we cannot be more appreciative.
No, listen, it's always good to take a break from watching the film and, hop on with you guys to talk some Jets football.
Yeah, so, going into the bye week, we'll start with some easy questions. What is your mindset going into the bye week, Coach Gase?
Well, for a lot of us, it's an opportunity just to, get away from, what's been a pretty wild year. You never want to go into the bye week at 0-9, but here we are. Luckily, we were able to go in on somewhat of a positive. We got some guys back healthy. We had some rookies out there. And, we played a hard-fought competitive game. And that's something, that we'll take into the bye week. We'll continue looking at film throughout the week. And, get back out on the practice field, continue to do what we do well on the practice field, best practice team in football. And, after the bye week, we really want to turn the season around. We got 7 games. That's an opportunity for a lot of guys out there.
So it's interesting. So I guess we'll look back at the last game. So you finally had your receivers back. So if you follow the interviews, you've been saying that you really can't open up your offense till you have your receivers. You have Perriman, you have Crowder, you have Mims. Is that the reason why your offense is finally kind of taking a turn for the better now?
Yeah, I mean, that was clearly why we were able to open up the playbook. We had our speed guys out there. Flacco was dealing against the Patriots. And, yeah, I mean, that's really what we've been lacking, having our true top 3 wideouts. And, that allowed us to open up the playbook, take some vertical shots. And, I think you saw the difference.
So, Coach, this is fascinating. So what are your thoughts on the way that what are your thoughts on the way Joe Flacco played?
Listen, Joe Flacco, he's one of the best veterans out there. He's been around this game, long enough, and there's a reason why, because, he could step in, not even practicing for a number of weeks. He was injured earlier in the year, learned the playbook right away, and, he stepped right in, did a phenomenal job on short notice, too. We really didn't know throughout the week who was going to be starting that game, and Joe Flacco stepped up in a big way.
So do you think Sam Darnold would – see, the one interesting thing I noticed was the late interception with Joe Flacco. You said, listen, you got to take a chance, you got to be aggressive. But in the past, when Sam Darnold made that, you kind of criticized Sam Darnold for taking that chance. Why was there a difference between the way you handled Flacco and the way you handled Sam Darnold?
Wasn't necessarily a difference. I think it was just, the situation of the game. Us being 0-8, we wanted to stay aggressive there. We kind of felt like we had the Patriots defense on their heels. We were playing with the lead. It was late. And, yeah, we wanted to stay aggressive. It was working for us all game. So I have no fault with Joe Flacco taking a deep shot there.
Okay, fair enough. So one of the interesting things was, some members of the media, not some members of the media are criticizing the way that you handled Sam Darnold, where you brought him back in the game after he was injured for the second time, and now he's missing significant time. What is the thought process there? Are you the only decision maker? Is Joe Douglas involved? Is anybody else involved? Like, it seems like this injury thing is becoming a problem.
Well, listen, I mean, to put the blame on myself or Joe Douglas, I think would be unfair. A lot of the decisions that we make, regarding these players with injuries, it comes from our doctors. We're listening to them. They said that Sam couldn't do any more damage on that Thursday night game. We put him back out there. And then afterwards, we just wanted to rest him up, get him back to 100%. He took the one shot the week before, kind of felt it a little bit. And so we wanted to sit him, get him back to 100% again. And, after the bye week, we expect to have him back out there.
So the criticism of you, putting your players in, because if you're being honest here, Coach Gase, and we're trying to ask honest questions here, your your history with injured players isn't very good, where, you have C.J. Mosley, you have Le'Veon Bell, you have Sam Darnold twice, you have Mekhi Becton twice, all prominent players that all seem to get re-injured under your watch. So you're saying it's not your fault, it's the doctor's fault.
Well, I mean, football is a violent game. Guys get hurt. Guys are going to play when they're hurt. And, those are the kind of guys that you want in your building, to be honest with you. Guys that, may not be 100%, but they want to be on the field. And, we're not going to hold these guys back. They're competitors. They're fighting through it in practice. And if they feel they're ready to go and they have the approval of the doctors, we're not going to hold them back.
Okay, so you don't see any problems with Sam being re-injured and the way things are going. It's just part of the game, in your opinion.
Yeah, football's a violent sport. Guys get hurt. Part of the game.
Okay, Fair enough. So, there's other criticisms with the way the game was handled towards the end, where you guys played very good football for, say, 3 quarters, 2.5 quarters, and the fourth quarter, you guys seemed to fall apart. Some are accusing you of tanking and losing the game on purpose. Is that just you losing the game on purpose or just poor execution?
No, we're always going out there to win. It was more just kind of, what the defense dictated, them taking away some of the things that we wanted to do. And, we were trying to make some adjustments. It had nothing to do with us wanting to lose the game. To a man, everybody in that locker room, we wanted to win. We've been hunting for a win all year. And, yeah, we don't play this game to lose. Nobody in that locker room does.
So can you explain with the minute 55 left, your mindset there with your play calling? Because it was a sack, run, pass, ball goes back to the Patriots, and then it's kind of pretty much that was the end.
Well, yeah, I mean, I explained that in the post game. There were a couple options underneath that we had. We just didn't make the correct read. So again, it was one of those situations where it wasn't necessarily the play calling that was wrong because guys were open. We just have to do a better job of executing it.
So there is a rumor, and we're not, I need only talking about rumors, but this is just a play calling question where that you step in for Dowell Loggins and actually called that deep pass by Joe Flacco. Did you actually make that play call, or was it your coach?
No, listen, Dowell made the play call. I'm obviously listening on the headset, so I know what's coming in to the quarterback as the plays are coming in. So, it's one of those things where, we're both in constant communication about the play calls that are coming in. And I had nothing wrong with what Dowell called there. We wanted to stay aggressive, as I told you, and, we just didn't execute.
So, Coach, now that you're not calling plays, what exactly are you doing on the sidelines?
Well, like I told you in the last interview, I mean, not being able to call the plays allows me to kind of oversee the entire operation. So I get to, dabble a little bit in the defense, watch the special teams, just kind of interact with some of the players, make some adjustments on the sidelines, really just oversee the entire operation, which is what a head coach is supposed to do.
Well, it's funny you say that. Since you're now able to watch the entire game, can you explain why the defense melted down in the fourth quarter with the game on the line?
Yeah, just some of the play calls that were going in. I don't think we necessarily had guys in the best position to, make some plays. We had our cornerbacks kind of playing off the line of scrimmage, 10 to 15 yards. That's something for myself and Greg Williams to discuss as we watch the film during the week. But yeah, there were plays to be made there. And, again, we didn't execute. So
Greg Williams has kind of been hinting that you're, there's some kind of problems between you and him, and hinted at he's been given a difficult hand to deal with. How is your relationship with Coach Williams?
No, there's no issue with me and Coach Greg Williams. We talk every day. The same thing with, me and Joe Douglas. There's constant communication in that building. Everybody in that room, we're on the same page. We want to get this thing turned around as quick as possible. All the losing, obviously, it's frustrating. To a man in that locker room, nobody's happy right now. But we're trying to get it turned around as soon as possible. Now,
there was a report that in the first quarter, I'll be honest, Coach Case, when you on 4th and 3 when you punted, I maybe have insulted you a couple times because I thought it was very conservative when you're 0-8 and you're trying to win, you're trying to set the right tone for your team. And there was a report that you talked to Joe Douglas after that, and you had some regrets of not going for it on 4th and 3. What was your mindset? Why would you not go for it there?
Well, like I said, just what we thought the defense was going to call in that situation. I didn't feel like we had the best play call to counter that. So at that time in the game, we just felt it was the best situation to punt.
Don't you practice situation awareness? I mean, if you're a great practice team, wouldn't you practice that situation there to be ready for 4th and 3?
No, absolutely. But again, as the game kind of unfolds, certain things change. Coaches make, some adjustments, and we just didn't feel like at the time it made sense for us to go for it.
Okay. So now you're 0-9 now. It seems like there's a lot of negativity towards you. People want you to be fired. It's getting, pretty much worse every week. Do you sense that pressure? Do you feel that, or do you have some kind of job security, do you think?
No, listen, I don't really feel the pressure at all. Like I've told you several times, I'm not on social media. So, all the headlines and, the fans clamoring for the coach to get fired, it's easy to drown that out when you're not on social media. Obviously, I'm made aware of certain things that are being said, but at the end of the day, I know that I have the full confidence in ownership, in the general manager that's here to, just really turn this thing around. We all knew it was going to take some time. I don't think anybody was expecting a quick fix, and here we are.
Okay, so are you glad there's not fans in the stands so you can avoid the booing and the bags over their heads and the chance to have you fired?
I don't think there would be a chance to have me fired. I think that a lot of the fans, they understand what's going on right now. that, this was kind of the year that we were going to tear it all down in order to build it back up. Nobody was expecting the quick fix overnight, and this was going to take some time.
Okay, and then the other question I get, and Coach, do you have more time? Because we have a lot of viewers here that like to ask some questions. Do you have time for viewer questions too? Or
Yeah, bring them on. Bring
you're a busy man. It's also the bye week. But I guess one of the interesting things is that Denzel Mims always starts off very hot in the first half. The second half, he becomes invisible. What happens there?
Yeah, that's just the opposing defense doing a good job of, taking him away, kind of rolling coverage to his side. And we just have to do a better job of executing to the guys that are open.
Okay, but what about adjustments? Do you make adjustments, or is it kind of that's just the way it rolls?
I mean, to a certain extent, we make adjustments, but, also that's how it rolls. I mean, if he's being covered, we have other guys that are open. And that was pretty much the case throughout the entire fourth quarter. Even though we only had 4 plays, there were guys that were open on every play, and we just didn't execute. Okay,
so we got one of our viewer questions here is, how does it feel that someone named Dowell has better play calling than you? Also, how do your kids feel about getting bullied in school because of you? 2 very tough-hitting questions there.
Wow. Well, listen, I wouldn't say that Dowell has better play calling than I do. It's kind of just everybody in that building throughout the week, doing their due diligence, putting in the work to come up with the best game plan. Naturally, I'm involved with that. Dowell's involved with it. Jim Bob Cooter, he's involved with it. Joe Douglas has a say. We all communicate. We all talk. We have phenomenal practices, and we just try to roll that over into game day. So everybody has a hand in the play calling.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of our viewers seem to like your shirt. You can't practice average if you want to be great. Is that the mindset you try to portray in practice every day?
That's what we instill every single day. The last thing that we want is a bunch of jackasses out on the field. No pun intended. We want guys that practice hard, that play hard, that love the game of football. And, that's the kind of culture that we're trying to establish here.
Okay. So now what would be your expectations for the rest of the season? You got a nice bye week, you get a little break. Can't do too much of a break because of COVID, but are you going to get away at all this during the bye week and try to get some fresh air, maybe do some self-scouting, or how do you handle your bye week?
Well, I handle the bye week the same way I do every year, which is, I go in the office and I watch a lot of film, try and diagnose what's been going right, what's been going wrong. And yeah, I mean, the last 7 games are a great opportunity for a lot of young guys to step up.
Yeah. And now, so I guess the next question is, how much film have you watched so far?
Pretty much every day. I've been in the office, me, Dowell, we've been breaking it all down, trying to figure out, where we could have been better, where some opportunities were that we left on the field. And, we're really excited for these last 7 games to just get this thing turned around and have those young guys in there.
Now, this is a very fair question. Has Joe Douglas woken up yet? I'm sure you're not aware, but during the game, they did a screenshot at the booth, and it appears that your general manager may have taken a little snooze, maybe a little nap during the game. Wasn't the most exciting with games. Do you want to offer a comment on that?
I can assure you that Joe Douglas was not sleeping. He was on his cell phone or his iPad, just doing what we always do, which is doing our due diligence and, having other guys on the line. Maybe he was talking, potential trade. Maybe he was talking to Trevor Lawrence's agent. There's a number of things that, Joe Douglas could have been doing up in the booth, but I assure you he was not sleeping.
Your new sunglasses seem to be a hit. Can you want to tell the viewers where you got them?
From the Jets team store. Where else would I get them?
You got all the answers, man. Let's see. So, Coach, the playbook only opens up with the vertical passing game when all 3 receivers are healthy. So, if one receiver is out, you can't open up the playbook?
Well, I mean, obviously it becomes a challenge when you go, from 3 to 2. Having our full arsenal out there really just allows us to stretch the field. You saw what Perriman's capable of. We've seen in flashes what Mims can do. And Crowder, he's well established. We all know what he could do in the slot. So just having all 3 guys out there, the way they complement each other, it really opens up the playbook.
Some great questions coming up here. Ask Coach Gase what his favorite pregame ritual is.
I got to say the smelling salts, that does it for me. Being able to just grab a hold of some smelling salts and whew, that gets me fired up, baby.
Coach Gase, do you think it is fair that Joe Douglas is shouldering all the blame while you make excuses?
Well, I don't even think that's accurate. I don't think Joe Douglas is shouldering all the blame. If you listen to some of the media, I think I'm getting a lot of the blame, which I don't think is necessarily fair. We've had plenty of injuries. We've got, lots of holes. We need some talent. So this is a collective effort. I think we all deserve some blame. Greg Williams deserves plenty of blame. I deserve blame. Joe Douglas deserves blame. Sam Darnold deserves blame. And we're all in this together.
So what is your reaction when some people say that you ruined Sam Darnold?
I think that's inaccurate. He's a young quarterback who's been injured during parts of every single season that he's played so far. Of course, we need to get him better weapons. We need to get him a better offensive line. But he also needs to do a better job of executing the plays that are out there. We definitely left some plays on the field. But again, he's a young quarterback, and he's going to learn that over time.
The next comment is, I have full confidence in this team to be successful after this interview. See, Coach Gase, you come off to be somewhat of a prick to most of the media, but now it seems like you're becoming very likable in this forum, talking to, a fan. Is that kind of like, are you kind of more like a coach of the people that we just don't see this side of you?
Well, I think fans respect it when you answer the tough questions and you don't dodge the media. And that's why, I like to make these appearances. I think fans genuinely respect that when you don't dodge the hard questions and you show them that you care and that you want to win.
Okay. There's the people want to know where can they get that shirt, man? I guess this shirt, Coach, is very popular. Is this something that the New York Jets are going to be selling, or is this more to motivate your players in the locker room?
This was actually a Todd Bowles shirt that was left over. But, me and Todd, we kind of have the same mantra that if you want to be a good team, you want to be a great team, it starts in practice. And, we feel like we have that part down. Now it's just a matter of, getting it to game day.
Coach Gase, did Frank Gore slip you extra money under the table to feature him 20 years after his prime? Excellent question.
Listen, if you've been watching Frank Gore, you have to see what we see. Yes, he might be 37, but age is just a number. He's playing like a back that's, in his prime right now. He looks phenomenal. I know you saw the 3rd and 1 where he made the quick joke and, he dodged the defender, got the first down. I mean, what more can you ask for? Yes, he's 37, but he's a very young 37, phenomenal leader, helps out P. Ryan. And like I said, we want him back next year.
Coach Gase, with so much momentum going into the bye week, why a little long face?
Well, like I told you, it's been a rough week of practice. It's never ideal going into the bye week without a win at 0-9. So, it's been a long week. We're trying to right the ship here. A lot of guys have been staying in the facility, doing extra work, watching extra film. So, like I said, this is a very close group. Every guy to a man's been doing everything that we've asked of them. And, you really couldn't ask for more as a coach right now. I wouldn't say that I have more confidence in Flacco than I do in Darnold. I'd say that I probably have equal confidence in them just because Flacco's an experienced veteran and Darnold's still a young quarterback that's kind of learning the ropes right now. Your audio went out, so I can't hear you right now. It's like a regular Jets press conference with no audio. And I just spilled my drink. Let me X out and come back in, see if it works.
The button. I hit my button, dude. I hit a button myself.
There we go.
That's my bad. That was actually me. There's a mute button on the bottom I hit by accident. Jesus Christ. Oh, we are a mess. All right. So what we'll do. So we're going to, everybody, thank you. My apologies. This is actually me. I can't, let's see. We'll go back up to the top here. What was it like competing against Bill Belichick? It seemed like you were very close to winning the game. Do you ever get intimidated by him, or is it something that you just feel like you can go toe-to-toe with him?
Oh, I always feel like I can go toe-to-toe with Bill. Yeah, he's one of the best coaches of all time. He's got multiple Super Bowl rings. But as you saw when Peyton Manning was running my offense, I too can lead a group of guys to the Super Bowl and win it. So again, you always embrace the challenge of going up against a guy like Belichick. And I felt like we were in position to win that game. We were, leading throughout most of it. We just got to do a better job of executing at the end.
Coach, why is it that you never use pre-snap motion, but your water boy does?
Well, again, it just kind of always comes down to what the defense is, dictating. And, sometimes we just like to run up to the line, do some smash mouth football, let Frank Gore, do his thing in between the tackles, work our screen game. Again, it always works in practice. We have a lot of success against our defense in practice. So, we try to translate those things over to game day.
Now, your team looks pretty good. Le'Veon Bell was released. He's not really doing anything in Kansas City. You traded Jamal Adams to Seattle Seahawks, and right now you seem like you like this, that Jamal has some couple sacks, but in pass coverage, he's not been very good. Do you feel good about how everything's worked out once these guys have left?
Yeah, I mean, this was all part of the plan. It's well known, as far as what my philosophy is regarding running backs and regarding paying running backs, and the difference of opinion that myself and Mike McCagnon had regarding Le'Veon Bell. And then Jamal Adams, that situation again, just another one that didn't work out. A good young player, but we like the value that we got back. And at the end of the day, it's about getting the wrong guys out of the building and bringing the right guys in, the guys that want to be here.
Okay, Coach Case, why were you looking at your play sheet with 10 seconds left in the game? We were down by 10 a couple weeks ago.
It's a good question. Just really trying to plan things for the following week. Just kind of going over the
during the
plays.
game.
Yeah, it's never too early to look ahead. Especially as the game was winding down there. I'm always in game mode, so anything that I could do to get a leg up on the next opponent, I'm always going to do it.
Well, Coach Case, this is a question that I almost want to answer this for you, but what is your favorite play call? Because for me, it seems like it's the first down running play, but maybe you have something else that I'm not aware of.
Well, listen, the 1st and 10 run to Frank Gore, it's hard to top that because it's been working the last several weeks. I know you've been frustrated watching it, but it's been working. It's been setting us up on some nice, second and shorts, which allows us to really execute our full arsenal as far as the playbook goes. But other than that, the second and long, third and long screen pass, just because the defense usually isn't expecting it, it allows us an opportunity to get some blockers out in front, especially if the opposing defense is blitzing. So, those are really the top two that I love.
Coach, was the 12 men on the field penalty on purpose or just the usual incompetence?
Again, it was a miscommunication as far as the coaching staff goes. We kind of miscounted there. We thought we had 11, ended up being 12, and luckily it didn't hurt us because they still only got a field goal.
Coach, who's your ophthalmologist?
I use the team ophthalmologist.
Do you have a couple more minutes, Coach? We got a lot of questions here for you. So,
absolutely.
Coach Geese, have you been working out? You're looking like you look like you put on some muscle.
I've been using Joe Douglas's workout plan. Me and him, we get to the building pretty early every morning before we start watching the film. And yeah, he's got me on his workout routine right now, taking the protein afterwards. So I'm feeling good.
Okay, Coach Gase, if you're not calling the offense anymore, why is your head always stuck in the playbook?
Again, just going over, the things that are coming in as far as what Dowell's calling and really just communicating with him as far as, what we want to do off of the play calls that we're calling for, for future drives in the game.
Okay. Here's a very good question because, as you can understand, Coach, a lot of fans want to see the younger players play. So what is Frank Gore doing in practice that P. Ryan isn't?
Well, I mean, to be honest, Frank Gore isn't doing a whole lot in practice because we like to, keep him fresh for game day. So, he has the scheduled day off every week as far as practice goes, and that's an opportunity for P. Ryan to get some work. So we're just kind of, slowly taking him along. He had the ankle injury early on in the season, so we didn't want to rush him back. And that was a great opportunity for Frank Gore to really take advantage.
Okay. What are your thoughts on Trevor Lawrence? If the Jets do get the number 1 pick, would you be excited to work with him?
Listen, right now, Sam Darnold, he's our quarterback of the future. So anything regarding Trevor Lawrence, I'm not going to get into at this point.
Fair enough. I mean, I can understand that. Let's see. There's another very good question. I understand, Coach. I understand that our goal is not to insult you here. We're just this is with the fans and the kind of what we hear all the time is, how does it feel to be compared to Rich Kotite, a coach that didn't fare very, very well with the New York Jets?
The comparisons don't bother me. At the end of the day, I know what we have here. I know what we're building here. Sometimes it takes, kind of hitting rock bottom before you can really turn it around. and, just get your guys in here, get the guys out of here that don't want to be here. And there was a lot of work that needed to be done. I think most fans realized that this was going to take some time, and, we're still in the middle of it right now.
What are your thoughts on the way Ryan Tannehill has been playing?
I'm happy for him. He always had the talent when he was in Miami. It was unfortunate that, he got injured a couple times, which I think, set him back a little bit. Otherwise, it wouldn't surprise me at all if, we were still there together, winning multiple division titles, upsetting the Patriots and Belichick, and kind of doing what they've been doing the last few years.
Coach Case, why are you the way you are? You inept psychopath. That's not very nice, Coach. You don't have to answer that.
Wow.
I shouldn't have asked that question. It kind of snuck by me. I didn't see that.
That's kind of rude.
Coach Case, in your opinion, what qualities make a good head coach, and do you have any of them?
I do, to be honest. And again, in order to be a good coach, I think the biggest thing is winning. And if you look at my resume, especially when Peyton Manning was my quarterback, I did plenty of winning. And it's proof that with the right quarterback, my system can work. So, I trust what I've seen throughout my number of years, in the National Football League, as far as calling offense goes. It's just a matter of getting the right players in and getting them all to buy in order to accomplish what we want to accomplish here.
Coach Case, how confident are you that you'll be the coach of the New York Jets next season and beyond?
I'm very confident in that. These are conversations, like I said, that, I've had with Joe Douglas and ownership. They have the utmost trust in me to, get this thing turned around. And, we're all working together at this, trying to bring in the right pieces. And, again, the ultimate goal is to win a Super Bowl. And, I think we're eventually going to get there.
What can we expect from our team following this bye week?
You're going to see a team that, like I said, they're coming together. They're working hard. They're all improving, especially these young guys. They want to prove that they belong in the NFL. We have a number of other guys that are, essentially on one-year contracts. They want to prove that they're worthy of getting a nice payday. So I think you're going to see a team that's, hungry, that's coming out fighting, that's, together, and that, really want to finish off this year with a couple wins.
Has there been any indication from Chris Johnson and or Joe Douglas they'd be around next year? Or are you being evaluated on the next 7 games?
Oh, I'm confident that I'll be around next year. Like I said, coming into this year, we knew we had a number of holes. We decided to sit on that $30 million, push it to next year, and just evaluate a lot of the young pieces that were here. So at the end of the day, we want to win games, but it's not the ultimate goal for this year. It's about developing, a lot of these young guys and seeing where we're at the end of the year.
Here's a good question. Coach Case, who are your top 5 players in the league right now?
Well, that's a very good question. Pat Mahomes obviously would have to go at the top of the list. After that, I mean, it's really a toss-up. Probably a couple wide receivers you could put in there. Maybe you throw J.J. Watt, Khalil Mack in there. Good question.
Okay. Coach, why are you lying to us? Well, it seems like the viewers aren't buying what you're trying to sell us. What are your
about what specifically?
I guess maybe about the offense and how things are being run. I guess there's some more questions. I don't know.
I don't know where the lie is. I mean, again, we haven't performed to our expectations yet, but, there's been a lot of moving pieces. There's been a lot of injuries. We didn't have, a full training camp as far as preseason goes. So there's just been a lot of things working against us. Sam missed some time. We haven't had all 3 of our wideouts out there until, last week against the Patriots. So it's been tough, and I credit all these guys. They're still coming in. They're working hard. They're positive. We're having great practices. The atmosphere is phenomenal. So we're getting this thing turned around.
Coach, you're sounding quite hoarse tonight. Are you all good?
Yeah, listen, I'm fine. I'm enjoying the bye week, watching a lot of film. Couldn't be happier.
Okay. What is your favorite part of practice?
Honestly, the favorite part is right before we get started with team drills, as the entire team comes together, in the big circle, and usually it's guys like Frank Gore, Joe Flacco, a veteran that's kind of breaking things down, setting the expectations for the day, and you see all the guys just huddled around, focused, ready to go to work. Again, that's the kind of atmosphere that we want. That's the kind of attitude that we want from all of our players.
Okay. I guess the next one is, I guess this fan, Snoopy, would like to know if you will put us all out of our misery and quit, or will you eat all 16 losses this year?
Well, I've said it numerous times. I'm not a coach that's about quitting. I go out there every game trying to compete, trying to win, and that's what you're going to see from all 16 games this year.
Okay. From Dylan, Coach, how do you find a way to dig deeper than rock bottom? In addition to this, do you find the sense of amusement when you piss off your entire fan base?
Well, we obviously have to, dig much deeper than where we're at right now. We do see the progress, especially as players have been coming back. But no, I don't, get any amusement out of pissing off the fan base. I think the fan base just has to be realistic as far as, what their expectations are and how quickly they expect us to, turn this thing around.
So what is your explanation for all these injuries your team's experiencing? It seems like most of the injuries actually occur in practice.
Well, again, it's been a combination of things. It's been a lot of bad luck. And also, like I've told you, we work so hard in practice. It's so competitive. And, that's going to lead to some injuries. Guys are going in there playing like it's a game pretty much, going 100%, going full speed, trying to get better. That's unfortunately going to lead to some injuries. And when you have that competitive environment, it's a great thing. But one of the counters to it is that you will get some guys that are hurt.
Is it true that your postgraduate degree was in practice coaching?
That is not true, but I do take plenty of credit. And I'm proud of what we do in practice, to be honest with you, because we see the progress and what this team could be. It's just a matter of, again, getting it done on Sunday, and I think you guys are going to see that before too long.
Coach, this is actually a compliment that you're getting from one of our viewers. Coach, I love that you live and die by the 5-yard out routes.
Yeah, we like to pick and choose our shots to go deep. For most of the year, we haven't had our speed wideouts out there, so we've definitely been reliant on the 5-yard out routes and some of the screen passes. And when we execute them, when we make our blocks, and guys are doing their assignment, the plays work phenomenally. So it's not the play calls; we just have to execute a lot better.
Coach, I realize your favorite acronym for Sam is RDRS: run, drag, pass, run, screen. My question for you is, how can you make this offense more stale than it already is?
Again, I would disagree with the premise that this is a stale offense. I think it's just an offense that has been struggling to find some continuity. Struggling in some ways to find leadership. With guys that can just consistently be on the field, and that's been the biggest problem. And we're starting to get some guys back now. And I think you saw a nice step from the offense against the Patriots on Monday night, and we hope to continue that into the bye week and beyond.
So now some people are saying that the offense was improved based on your opponent wasn't very good. What is your opinion on that?
Listen, if you're in this league, you deserve to be here. At the end of the day, every team that we're facing, it's a competitive team. Bill Belichick, how he coaches up defenses. That's never a walk in the park. So I give our guys plenty of credit for that effort on Monday night.
What's an explanation for leading the league in penalties, especially personal fouls?
Yeah, a lot of that's coming on the defensive side of the ball. It's something that, me and Greg Williams have talked about. We just got to do a better job of, staying disciplined, not getting caught in the heat of the moment and, taking some of those stupid fouls like we have been.
Okay. Do you think that the poor performance is due to a lack of physicality, or is it a combination of mental errors?
I think it's been more mental errors because, again, we see the physicality, especially in practice, and we've been executing fine there. It's just, on game day, for whatever reason, it's a mental error here, mental error there, miscommunication, a breakdown. Something typically goes wrong that causes, a drive to stall out. We're starting to get close, and then, we're backed up 2nd and 20. It's never really one thing, but a lot of it is mental errors.
Hey, Coach, do you know when the jersey prices are going to go down? I want to buy a Sam Darnold jersey and wear it for a few more weeks.
Yeah, I mean, if you check right now on Jet Shop, we're already having some discounts on a lot of the stuff that's out there. So yeah, get it while you can, because those Sam Darnold jerseys are going to go quick.
Coach Gase, why do you feel like you're the right guy for the job when you have more double-digit losses than wins?
Well, you ultimately need a healthy roster to compete at the end of the day. And for my 5 years as a head coach, a lot of those teams have suffered a lot of injuries. So it's just been a combination of some things, some bad luck. And I still have plenty of confidence that once we have our guys out there all healthy, with the right quarterback, that we'll be able to do some serious damage. And I'll keep saying it. Peyton Manning showed you what this offense can be. If he can run it that way, I'm still very confident that once we get the right guy in here with the right playmakers around him, this offense is going to be humming.
Coach, are you worried that Woody Johnson is going to come back and clean house?
I'm not worried about that at all. I'm pretty confident that Chris has had some conversations with Woody, and he understands the state of the team right now. We're a ways away from competing. But at the end of the day, again, we need the continuity. We need to, see this thing out. We got a ways to go, but we have the right guys in the building to get us there.
Okay. Coach Gase, why is Robbie Anderson flourishing in Carolina when he did nothing under you?
I wouldn't say he did nothing under me. I definitely think he expanded his route tree. We hit him on some deep balls, especially in that Cowboys game. The 98-yard touchdown. A lot of it was just the opposing defenses kind of taking him away, and we had to adjust from there and start featuring other guys.
Coach, when you lose 2 yards on first down, is it part of your master plan?
Well, I mean that hasn't been happening recently. If you've been watching the games recently, it's been a lot of Frank Gore on first down, and he's been getting 5, 6, 7 yards. So we've been setting ourselves up with a lot of second and short. So we're pleased with that.
What's the best thing you can do moving forward for the offense to not die out in the second half?
Yeah, we just got to continue to make adjustments and do a better job of that. The game plan for the first 15 to 30 minutes usually works out pretty well. And then we just got to do a better job of executing the plays in the second half. Making some adjustments as well, and just guys staying focused, cutting out the mental errors, and just competing for a full 60 minutes.
This is a fascinating question here, Coach. Belichick went to San Diego or to the Chargers, and he couldn't pick up. Well, first of all, he couldn't pick up a blitz with the Jets. He fizzled out terribly. Now he's playing well. How can you? I just can't look at you, man. It's killing me. Why is Belichick playing good with the Chargers?
I mean, I wouldn't even say he's playing all that great. He had a touchdown. It's been limited reps. But at the end of the day, yeah, he struggled a little bit in blitz pickup here, and we have high expectations for our back, or our entire backfield really, and that's part of the reason why we shipped out Le'Veon Bell. Same thing with Ballage. And we like the backs that are here, to be honest with you, with Ty Johnson, with P. Ryan, and of course
Ty Johnson doesn't even play though.
Well, those reps go to Frank Gore first, and then we try to work in P. Ryan, and we give Ty Johnson the carries when we can.
The ears keep moving. I can't stop looking at the ears. Coach, even if the talent isn't there on the field, why is your in-game management and adjustments terrible? Shouldn't you be good at that as a veteran coach?
Well, I mean, we like to think that only one side makes adjustments, but it's two sides. So, we make our adjustments, the opposing defense counters to some of the things that we're doing. And, unfortunately, they just take away a lot of the things that we're trying to do in the second half. And, what's available to us, which we saw in the fourth quarter against the Patriots, some of the things that were underneath, we just got to, make the smart decisions, take what the defense gives us, and have guys execute a lot better.
Coach Gase, how does it feel to see Miami be turned around faster than you destroyed them 3 years?
Well, to be honest, it actually makes me pretty happy to think that, in the 3 years I was there, I shipped out a lot of the pieces that weren't good enough, that didn't belong there, and started to really build a foundation to turn that franchise around. So I think what you're seeing right now out of Miami was a lot of the groundwork that I put in. And so ultimately we're doing the same thing here. And I think that, within a couple of years, you'll see the Jets in the same place.
Coach Gase, why is it every time the Jets play someone from the opposing team gets NFL Player of the Week? Is that does that kind of upset you at all?
Just again, it's a lot of bad luck. A lot of things that just haven't gone our way this year. We've had a roster that's really been banged up for a number of weeks, and we've struggled to make those adjustments.
Coach, if you stay, are you concerned about what Let's Talk Jets, what could be planned if you stayed next year?
No, I'm not concerned with that at all. At the end of the day, the fans tried, some things last year with, the billboards and the planes. And at the end of the day, ownership had plenty of confidence in me to, to retain this job and ultimately see things out and get this rebuild turned around the right way. So, fans, they're going to be passionate. They're going to be vocal. They're going to speak their minds. But at the end of the day, I'm secure in this job. I know ownership and the GM have plenty of confidence in me, and we're going to do this thing together, and we're going to do it the right way.
It's interesting. Just to build off that, can you explain why you banned us, myself and my host, Kevin Sirkin, from your facility?
Well, unfortunately, that's a decision that goes above my pay grade. That has more to do with, some of the individuals in the Jets PR department. So, I'll let them address that.
Well, that's kind of strange because those same individuals had no problems with me and Kevin as of before you got here. But once you got here, they had a problem with us. What would be the difference?
Really couldn't answer that, to be honest with you. It seems very strange. You seem very professional when we do these interviews. I enjoy all your content on YouTube. So, yeah, I really couldn't imagine why they wouldn't want you guys on the sidelines. You were there for 4 years. I heard before I got there, you did a phenomenal job. So I really don't know why they wouldn't want you there.
We appreciate you watching our content, too. That's very awesome. We definitely appreciate you taking time to watch our YouTube channel, Coach. I know you're a very busy man. So
I try to mix it in with the film work.
That's good, man. You always got a little break, man. I mean, I guess we'll do like two more. Coach, how does it feel to be the first coach in Jets history to go 0-9?
Well, it's not ideal, but we're focused on the end game, on the long term, which is getting the right pieces here, and like I said, shipping out the pieces that don't want to be here or that aren't part of the solution. So, even though it sucks to be 0-9, we feel like we're finding a lot of answers along the way, and we're getting ultimately a lot closer to where we want to be.
These fucking comments are killing me. Coach Case, I thought you'd be able to sniff out a defensive plan with those nostrils. All right, we'll do one more. Let's see what the best one is here. Let's see. Coach, is it time to step away from the game and watch all the film in the world from home?
Definitely not ready to step away from the game yet. I feel like my best days are ahead of me, and I'm still learning. I'm still growing as a head coach, and just watching a lot of these guys, especially guys like Frank Gore and Joe Flacco, respond to this offense, respond to this system, respond to my coaching in particular. It shows me that I still have the ears of a lot of these players. They still respect my voice, and at the end of the day, we're getting this thing turned around the right way.
Coach, can we expect anything new coming out of the bye week? I mean, right now you have a lot of chance to make some changes, maybe incorporate, some more young players, things like that. What can we expect?
Yeah, I mean, we'd like to get a lot of young guys out there, but at the end of the day, making a lot of changes, I don't really think that's what we need right now. We just need to execute better. If you watch the film, guys have been open, plays have been there, to be made. We just have to do a better job of executing what's right there in front of us.
There was a lot of comments on your introductory press conference was a little bit different. It's a little bit different. Was it just nerves? Was it just not? Can you explain what happened at the press conference? Was it just something?
Yeah, it was just one of those things. I was a little nervous first day on the job, all the bright lights in front of me. I was like, whoa, kind of, just getting caught in the moment. Bright lights in New York City, all of the lights. It's, it was a lot, man. All the press was in there, and but I was excited for the opportunity. And at the end of the day, I feel like if you listen to my answers, they're the same as what I'm saying right now, which is about just kind of instilling the right culture and getting guys to buy in. And I'm confident with where we're going.
Coach, how can you breathe in that thing?
It's not easy. I'm not going to lie. It's not easy.
So, here we go. Coach, do you think that this is the Jets are the best practice team in NFL history?
By far. And again, I know a lot of you guys don't see it, but the work that we put in and just the camaraderie, the way that this team and these guys are coming together, both veterans and, rookies and young players, undrafted players, we're really putting the foundation in for what it's going to take to be a consistent winner, not just, one of those teams that wins a couple games for a year or two and then fizzle out. No, we're putting in the groundwork for a winner that's going to be here for a long time.
Coach, do you think the lack of execution on offense, defense is due to a lack of talent, or what else what would you attribute it to?
Yeah, I mean, what else would you attribute it to other than a lack of talent? It's clearly not the play calling. Guys have been open, plays have been there to be made. We just have to, again, get guys on the same page, kind of have that, the right, continuity with guys knowing where they're supposed to be and, not making those mental errors, not having those miscommunications. But at the end of the day, a lot of plays have been there and we just haven't taken advantage.
Coach, what kind of coffee did Peyton Manning like?
He actually didn't even drink coffee, to be honest with you. He was just wired. He would get so excited coming in with, my new plays every single day that he didn't even need the coffee. He was wired as soon as he saw, what we were going to do in practice that day.
Okay. Well, Coach, I guess, you've been very nice to give us almost 45 minutes of your time, and you usually give the media like 10 minutes. So to do that for our show here, we're honored, we're privileged. Do you have a final message to all the fans out there? It's 0-9, very difficult times, a lot of scrutiny, a lot of pressure. But what would be your final message to the loyal fan base that you have?
Just, keep trying to weather the storm. It's difficult times right now, but like I keep saying, we're building something that you guys are going to be proud of here in a couple of years, and just get through these tough times, and you'll enjoy the football you see in a few years.
Coach Gase, enjoy the bye week. We look forward to you versus the Chargers. Big things for your team, and cheers. Enjoy your truly, Coach.
Absolutely. Talk to you guys soon.
Holy shit.
Woo!
That's a long interview, man.
Oh,
Holy
wow.
cow. Oh my God.
You have no idea how hot that thing is.
Oh my God, dude. That was killing me. Like, and the funny thing is, for some reason, like I can't stop looking at your ears. The ears kept moving, and like I just couldn't.
On top.
I couldn't keep a straight face.
The best part is I can laugh under the mask and you can't tell. So like I'm always in straight face mode, but I love it when you lose it.
Dude, it's so hard. And then it's like I'm trying to keep a straight face. I'm looking, your ears keep fucking bothering me. I keep laughing. And then the comments to the right are fucking hysterical. What a
imagine what the
disaster,
comments look
man.
like.
Holy shit, man. Oh my God. Man, at least we can laugh about some things around here. Dude, you have him down. You have him down. Like you have every answer down to like a T at this point.
I mean, it's the same answers really that we've heard for the last year and a half, as far as, great practices and, it's not the play calling, it's the execution. I mean, these are all the things that he keeps saying.
So thank you for all the questions for our coach. It's our third interview with him. We have requested Joe Douglas and Chris Johnson, and rumor has they both said yes, surprisingly enough.
Yep.
We didn't think they were going to. Snoopy, thank you for your questions. Ed, thank you for your questions. We definitely appreciate it. Yeah, so what is the S on the hat? We ask this every week. Summit.
What's your S? I forget what's yours.
This is for Shinedown.
Awesome.
So that was funny, dude. You have it. I got the answers. I'm like, holy shit. I could actually like look down. I'm like, that's what we hear every Sunday or Monday from that guy.
It's no different. All you got to do is actually watch his press conferences, and within a couple weeks, I mean, that's everything he says.
That's pretty much the feedback, dude. Everybody's like, holy shit. Like you got it pretty much nailed down. So like
Just
I said,
Chris Johnson and Joe Douglas. Wait for those.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that Joe Douglas, I mean, he woke up from his nap, obviously, and we must have caught him when he was just probably still like a little bit googly-eyed, because now he's willing to come on the show, which is fascinating. Chris Johnson, I mean, that's going to be, I mean, we're already banned now. I'm pretty sure once we do that one, we're guaranteed to never see it. We won't be allowed in Florham Park after that one, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe when Woody comes back.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, Woody liked us. I think we're okay with Chris Johnson hates us. Maybe the regime change will help us too. Who knows? I guess I guess we can just ask you guys, what do you guys want us to talk about? I mean, the Jets are 0-9, everything sucks. And I mean, the only glimmer of hope you have is the young guys play and they all get healthy, like Becton, Sam Darnold, everybody else. That's really all you can really talk about. I mean, what else are we supposed to do?
When you're 0-9, I mean, yeah, that's really all you can talk about is, just hope as far as finding some building blocks, finding some young pieces. And it doesn't even have to be like all, superstars, like even some of the young corners that we have, if they can fill, a depth spot, cool. Just find some answers, know what you have, know what you don't have.
Yeah, I mean, you want to see more Mims. You want to see all these younger guys, Zuniga, Bryce Huff.
Yep.
And I'd be nice to see, as I pour beer here, it'd be nice to see, I'm actually just, let's see, what's this say? Were you guys banned because of these podcasts or last year when you stopped working for them? We never actually worked for the Jets. We actually work for ourselves, but I guess our content may have pushed the limit a little bit at times and they just didn't agree with it. So it is what it is. The podcast get all kinds of compliments here. You're a stand-up guy. I'd rather watch your press conference than his.
I appreciate that. We should probably do it right after the game.
We probably should. We could probably do it. We could probably answer the question, the same exact questions for him.
Word for word, and then do a comparison right afterwards.
The only thing that you'd like to see, let's see. We'll go into this one first. What is your greatest moment as a Jets fan? What's yours, primetime?
I always say mine was the Week 17 game against the Packers, just because of the swing of emotions going into that game. So, like, Jets were playing at 4:00 that day, and they needed either the Cleveland Browns or the Patriots to lose. I'm sorry, the Dolphins to lose. So the Browns, they had won. They were up by 10 points as we were walking into the stadium, and the Patriots, they were down by 11. So with like 3 minutes left. So you're getting to your seats, you're getting settled down, coin toss, and you're thinking your season's over. And then, surely, a few minutes later, Patriots get a touchdown, 2-point conversion. They're down by 3. Guys have their Walkmans on. You're trying to listen. Like no one's paying attention to the game at all. So just that swing of emotions when the Patriots hit the field goal, tied the game, went to overtime, and then won it, the place just went absolutely fucking berserk. I've never experienced anything like that before. And yeah, we won the division. Next week, we beat the Colts 41-0. So just that 2-week stretch really was just amazing.
Yeah, for me, it was 1998 beating the Bills to win the AFC East was awesome with Parcells.
Yep.
And then the home playoff game with the Jaguars was just epic, man. It was just a whole different time then, man. Like, you're proud of your team. You got confidence in your coach. You had confidence, like you had Curtis Martin, Corbett, Keyshawn, like Brian Cox, Mo Lewis, Testaverde. Like, they were guys you believed in, man. Mawai. I mean, you had a team full of guys you believed in every fucking one of them. You know, it was a good time, man.
See, I was only 10 years old for that one. So, I thought that was kind of going to be the normal. We got past, our couple of years of losing, and I figured, all right, we're going to be here every year, 12-4 division winners and everything. And who would have thought, I'd have one more division title after that. And that was it.
Am I a Breaking Benjamin fan? Actually, I am, man. I definitely am. I saw them at Starland Ballroom like 3 or 4 times. Phenomenal. Absolutely great band. Very, very, I mean, they're just, especially in a small venue, they're awesome. Let's see. Is Sam Darnold really going to get traded to the Steelers for a 2nd-round pick? I think he's going to get traded. Doesn't have to be the Steelers. I think a lot of teams. Like, I was watching last night. I'm like, you know what? Imagine like Sam Darnold on the Colts behind that offensive line with that defense. Like, like a lot of rumors about the 49ers, teams like that. But like the Colts, man, would be a jackpot for him.
That would be such an epic win on that trade for the Colts to get all those, the 3 2nd-round picks, kind of build their defense through that. Also, they used the 6th overall pick for Quentin Nelson, and then to be able to get Sam on top of it a couple years later, I mean, that would be such a win for them. But yeah, there's a number of different destinations he could go to. The Steelers, the Vikings, the Saints. We talk about the Niners. I think would be a phenomenal fit with Shanahan.
Perfect.
There's a number of places where I think Sam could go right now with the right coach, with plenty of weapons around him, where he'd really thrive.
Let's be honest. Well, first of all, thank you guys for all these super chats. Let's be honest. Most of the Jets' problems stem from mistakes made by the previous regime, like coaching and roster construction. Those aside, any real problems with the Jets that could deter Trevor? I mean, let's be honest. Some of the current Jet problems are Joe Douglas's fault. I mean, Pierre Desir and all these guys. I mean, yeah. I think the problem you have is that Perriman had this good game. So now people are forgetting that the 8 games before that he was injured and didn't do shit. Yeah. So like this one game was like a good deodorant for a lot of things, because now it's like the offense did some things, close game, almost beat the Patriots. So everybody's feeling good. You're one blowout loss to the Chargers away from being like, you know what? We suck again.
I guess just playing devil's advocate to what the comment was saying is that when you have so many holes coming in from the previous regime, maybe that makes Joe Douglas a little bit hesitant to make that big splash move to get a guy that's proven and say, you know what, we still have a lot of work to do here. I'm going to take some of these low risk deals, like, 1-year contract on this year, some of the offensive linemen that he signed. Yes, they were 3-year deals, but they can get out of them after 1 year. So I think that was just kind of his approach. At the same time, also, I'd like to think maybe there was some element of evaluating the head coach in there, not putting all these resources into Adam Gase, because at the end of the year, we'd have maybe a new coach, but it's getting harder and harder to think like that's part of the philosophy. So I really don't know.
If you gave me a transcribe of both Primetime and Gase's press conference, I wouldn't be able to tell who's. No, Primetime, you nail it, dude. You really do. It is just.
There we go. First one I agree with.
Oh my god, yeah, that was on me. I fucking mute
I
button.
thought it was me for a second.
Let's see. Looking forward to fights on Saturday. I've got some money on Felder and watching some actually good football on Sunday. Paul Felder's a beast, man. I'm a big fan of him. And then football on Sunday, man. The Jets aren't playing. That's a good day to just begin with.
So are we going to live stream like some real football? I mean,
how do you want to do?
That's whatever the fans want. They want us to hop on for a little bit. We could do that. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the fights on Saturday. Also,
Paul Felder's, man. He was the first guy that weighed in too.
Yeah, I threw Felder in some parlays with some football games on Sunday.
He's a beast, dude. He is such a beast. I am ridiculously biased. Let's see. We got a bunch of questions here. Let's see. What is Quinnen Williams' player comp in your opinion? That's a good question. He's coming on. Unfortunately, he's hurt now.
We're talking like Jets player comp or just like anybody in the NFL?
I guess anybody in the NFL.
Oof. Tough to say. I really don't know what his comp is right now.
Neither do I. I couldn't tell you.
Because you've seen two versions of him. You've seen, the elite player that he could be in moments, and then you've also seen the guy that, has struggled through, the first year plus, has some penalty issues. It's a tough question. I really don't know what a good player comp would be.
What are the chances we don't get the first pick? I'm going to say pretty good.
Really?
Yep. I'm almost willing to
we're going to win? Or
yep. We're going to win. The Jaguars are going to keep losing. We're going to be tied. Jets will get the number 2 pick in the draft. That's my prediction. Hey, like that bold take on a Friday night.
So you think we're going to be 1-15 with the second overall pick?
Mm-hmm.
That would suck. So then the question
we've talked about the Jaguars aren't the only. There's like only
No.
maybe 2, maybe the Bears.
Yeah,
and the Jets will find a way to win one of these games, dude. They're just going to. It's gonna be with Flacco too. It's gonna be piss me off even more.
I'm hoping we're done watching Flacco. 2 weeks to sit. Actually, 3 weeks to sit for Sam. I mean, it's the same injury that he had before. So I mean, how much more damage could he have really done?
Tyson, do you think Gary Sanchez needs to change the scenery? I do. I'm not in the group that wants to keep him. I thought he should have been traded last year, to be honest with you. His time in.
Just don't trade him to the Mets.
Yeah, I mean, you can have him. I mean, listen, he's a catcher. And I like him too, but we can only keep going on to his home run ball so many times. The guy's a liability. And now it's like he's, if you have Garrett Cole's not even, like Garrett Cole doesn't want to pitch to him. He's going to bat, 200, 210, 220. And he's going to want mega money. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, to me, that's the biggest issue with him is, defensively with the pass balls. And like you said, with Cole not wanting to pitch to him, if he was a good defensive catcher with the amount of bats that you have in that lineup, you could probably deal with him there. But when he's also struggling to hit and he's a defensive liability, you
can't have that whole, you got to have both. If you're like a defensive liability, you got to bat like 280 and hit 40 home runs. You can't have both. Shinedown. Tyson, I'm drinking tonight and now I'm going to be blasting Shinedown tonight. My wife's going to kill me. They got so many good albums, man. One of my favorite live bands. They are just so good live. Definitely, they got a lot of good albums. That's for sure.
I need to get to some concerts if we're ever allowed to have concerts again.
Dude, there's so many. Once we're allowed to go to concerts, these bands are all gonna be playing like crazy. Like Metallica's doing one tomorrow night, an acoustic set to raise money. A lot of bands are doing that. Like $10, $15. You can do a live stream and you pay for it.
That's cool.
Shinedown did it. They're like a bunch. Like Godsmack did it. Once they're like that over, once this is over, there's gonna be concerts every day. These bands are because they're not making any money.
Yeah,
like there's nothing right now. They don't make money on album sales. It's usually like T-shirts and concert tickets. Let's see. Tyson's mic is created Sam's throwing mechanics. Yeah, I fucked that up. That's my bad. Let's see. Who is each of yours favorite Jet of all time? Oof.
Well, for me, it'd be Curtis Martin. Just being a kid growing up, like before, we got introduced to tailgating and everything. My thing with me and my dad, we'd go outside the Bubble Dome of Giant Stadium and, all the players, when they came in, they would sign autographs. And Curtis Martin, for his level of superstar, he was the one guy went up and down the entire line. Every single person never turned down one autograph. And for me, just like being a Hall of Fame player like that and also relating to the fans, having those conversations, just being a stand-up dude, like as a young kid, that was very impressionable on me.
I have like so many cool Curtis Martin stories, but I used to go to Hofstra all the time, and in between practices, you can go by the lunchroom and they'd always sign autographs and take pictures and all kinds of stuff. So Curtis Martin came by and he signed the helmet, and I was like, "Yo, can I get a picture real quick?" Took a picture of me, and my camera didn't work, and I'm like, "Oh shit!" And he heard me say like, "Oh shit!" He looked over, and I'm like, "Oh man!" I'm like, "My camera didn't work." He's like, "I got you, dude." He came back. I'm like,
wow,
that's fucking cool. Curtis Martin, man. But he would do like everybody, dude. And he would be like, I know how Jamal Adams made all the news, like when he stayed in a MetLife Stadium, kept signing autographs after. Curtis always did that, dude. Before the game, after the game, after practice, 100-degree heat, dude. It was just, he was such a good dude, man. And even like after a loss, he come out of the stadium limping, and dude, he would still sign, like just and smile, talk to he was such a class act, man. Just a really good dude.
And the one thing with Jamal, and I love Jamal, but it always seemed like he knew the cameras were on him when he was doing some of those things. Whereas Curtis, there was never a camera there. There was nobody giving him any publicity for it, yet he did it every single time, no matter what. So yeah,
he was all about the fans, man. He was so damn appreciative, like the fans supporting him. If the Jets banned you for these videos, then their skin must be thinner than their secondary. Well, that's something you could ask them about, I guess. Did you guys hear the Michael K show ripping the fans for wanting to tank for Trevor?
Really?
No. Why would they rip the fans? That's crazy. Why would you be mad at the fans?
I don't understand that at all.
We're trading the number one. First of all, thank you, Ibrahima John. Would trading number one overall pick to the Jaguars for the Rams' first-round pick and fifth-round pick be better than drafting Lawrence?
Wait, first-round pick and fifth-round pick. That's it?
Trading the number one overall pick to the Jaguars for the Rams' first-round. What?
So
why would we do that?
Well, my argument has been that if you could get the ridiculous haul, not a first and a fifth, but like several first round picks plus a couple seconds.
Why would you swap
thirds.
picks in just a fifth, like a fifth round pick? That's it. No.
Well, don't the Jags have 2 first round picks this year? Because of the
Yeah, but he's
Jalen
saying
Ramsey
you're trading it for their first round pick and a fifth round pick. That's it. I want more than that.
You'd have to get significantly more than that. I mean,
that's not even
a starting point. If you're talking about trading what's supposed to be a once in a generation quarterback, the starting point should be at least 2 first rounders, if not 3, and then a couple second and thirds if you were going to consider trading it.
So now's your chance to get Gase's autograph. Yeah, I mean, this is it. I mean, this is our 3rd interview with him. It's pretty impressive. He's been very generous to us.
I'm sure he'll sign some stuff for you.
Yeah, I'm sure he's probably he'll help us out. Let's see. What game do you predict we win? God forbid we do. The last game of the season, the Patriots. I think there's a couple games. I mean, you got to keep in mind there's going to be a game that's going to be a trap game for the opposing team, and the Jets are going to play well. It's just going to happen. It could be the Browns. Like they're going to be.
I think the Chargers after the bye week coming up. I think that's one. Then the Browns and the Patriots. I think those are all 3 of those are winnable games, especially if your guys are fully healthy out there.
Let's see, we got here. Well, thank you very much, Darnell Towns. What if Joe's plan is to hire a minority head coach to get the 2 free contemporary 3rd round picks? If so, who do y'all think the best choose? I mean, I don't look at it like that, dude. I look at you go for the best, the best coach available. Like you don't look at it. Is it a coach, minority coach? I go for the best coach, man. Like I don't do that kind of stuff. So
no,
I mean,
I'm completely in the same boat. Whoever the best coach is, if you think it's Harbaugh, fine. If you think it's Bieniemy, fine. And if a luxury of that is that you get an extra comp pick because you hired a minority coach, fine. But that shouldn't be what you're looking for. If he's the best coach, if you think Bieniemy's the best guy, awesome, hire him.
Yeah, you interview them all and see what happens. Like I don't, Let's see. Let's see. What's this? Oh my God, the Muppets are back. I see somewhere. Hold on a second. Hold on. Shit. Can you have Tyson send me a Muppet shirt? Listen, man, puppets and Muppets.
We got to make them.
We got to make it. Let's see. Let's just hope with the Jets trade the first overall pick, it doesn't turn into a Watson trade scenario. I mean, I don't know. I just don't see him trading the pick, to be honest with you. But
I mean, it's unlikely. I think it's more likely if Gase stays, to be honest with you. But
yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Eric Bieniemy, Arthur Smith, and Darnold had to be the top 3 coaching options, and Trevor Lawrence without a doubt number 1. He's probably saying Dayball, I think.
I mean, maybe Darnold's ready to go right into coaching.
I agree with you guys about Sam going to the Colts. A lot of people forget his USC teammate and friend Michael Pittman Jr. is there.
And a great offensive line.
If Kenny Golladay and Allen Robinson do not resign with their teams, they should be number 1A, 1B free agent priorities. Completely agree. I like Allen Robinson a lot, man.
Yep.
Such a good,
Yeah, I wanted him a couple of years ago when he was available. I'm still pissed that they didn't go after him. But there's going to be a couple wide receivers that could be available. I mean, Julio Jones could potentially be on the trade block if the Falcons kind of tear it down. There's talk about Chris Godwin from the Bucs because they have Evans and a few other guys under contract. So yeah, wide receiver in general just has to be the priority, whether it's free agency or the draft. I mean, we got to come away from this offseason with 2 legitimate weapons to pair with Crowder and Mims.
Yep. Jags would have the 2nd pick overall in 2021 and picking Fields at the number 2 spot with the Rams pick, which would be early 20s. Sorry for the confusion. That makes a lot more sense.
That's what I figured. Yeah. So, I mean, if you could ideally get 2 first-round picks this year plus the Jags first rounder the following year, that's a pretty good starting point. Now, again, though, I think all of that has to depend on what Sam Darnold does over these last 7 games, if he even gets back on the field or not.
Yeah.
And the new head coach, what he wants.
Is it possible for 2 or more teams left in the Jets schedule to lose on purpose so the Jets can't receive the number 1 overall pick?
Patriots.
It's possible, man. That Patriot game, the last game, there's a couple games, man, that you just you got to be worried about. You have to be.
That's my biggest fear is that last Patriot game is lose and you're number 1 overall, or if you win, you drop to 2nd or 3rd. There's no way the Patriots are going to let them lose that game then. How
did you guys ever get over being starstruck when you're hanging around the players? I didn't. I still don't.
Still don't. Yep.
I fucking completely fanboyed out around Le'Veon Bell. Complete fanboy was complete embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. Because we're fans, dude. We're not members of the media and shit. over the summer, I interviewed Aaron Glenn. It was probably one of the best days of my life. I was so freaking excited. I asked the worst questions ever. I was stuttering. I was slurring. I was just too excited. Like, we're just fans, man. Like, I still fanboy out big time, especially with certain players. I mean,
no, exactly the same way. Like I was saying on the last show that we did, when I did the first interview with Brandon Marshall, it's like fucking starstruck. That's one of the best receivers in the NFL. And you get a chance to talk to him for a few seconds. You're like, holy shit. And then, same thing, like Jordan Jenkins, a few weeks later, I was able to interview, sat on his fucking couch. Like, dude, this is insane. Like, you never get over that, I don't think.
No, it's exciting because it's like your goal, like, when you start doing all this shit, like, oh, if I could ever interview a player, and then you interview me, like, fuck, we just did that. And then you talk to them, and it's like, they're all cool. And like, you want to ask good questions, you want to have fun with it. But still, they're like people, like, you see them, you're like, dude, I want, like, fuck that. I want an autograph. Like, I want, like, sign my football and shit, like, yeah, it's fun though.
Yeah.
I think the cool part of it, I think, to be honest with you, is we did a lot of charity events with players. That was a really cool part of all this shit. Like, to see, like, guys like Lorenzo Malden and all them, like, giving all their time back, Eli McGuire and all of them, man. They did so many things that people don't even know about. And it's just so cool. Calvin Pryor was another one.
Quincy Enunwa.
Quincy Enunwa was big with that too.
And,
a lot of guys did a lot of things. He's been on
his channel plenty of times also.
Yep.
Even Jamal Adams did the one event with us.
Demario Davis has a lot of stuff too before he left. A lot of players do a lot of really cool shit.
Yep.
Let's see. Thoughts on Joe Judge? I like what he does, man. I like his mindset. I like how he handled Golden Tate. I like how he's no nonsense, man. And he doesn't. The one thing I like about him is he's not a coordinator. He oversees everything. I like that with head coach sometimes, where he's like, what? He's like, you have time to watch the game and see what's going on, not sit there and try to call plays. You know what the plays are, but you can see everything.
Yep.
Disciplinarian. Like, I like the way he handles things.
Yeah, he's no nonsense, but he also commands respect. And, a lot of those guys, they can fizzle out very quickly if players start tuning them out. But right now, for a young Giants team, it seems like he's got them heading in the right direction. And I feel like that kind of all started with training camp. He was doing the penalty laps, and I feel like he had everybody buying in from day one. So it's good.
All right, let's see. Sorry, I'm late. Any chance of a live stream Sunday? We can watch the red zone and compare the Jets teams so we actually know what they're doing. I'm not opposed to doing something on Sunday. I don't know what you guys want us to do.
I'll be around. So, yeah, if you want to hop on for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we can figure something out. See what game. I know, like, there's a lot of 4 o'clock games on Sunday, right? Isn't it like 6 or 7 4 o'clock games?
I think so.
So, let's see. We'll keep going down here. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for all the questions. Thank you for all these super chats. Definitely appreciate it. We try our best to figure all this shit out. I unplugged my microphone before, so see how stupid I am. Can the combination of Darnold and a bad contract could land the Jets a first-round pick?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I think if your goal is to get a first-round pick, that would probably require Darnold like going on a legitimate run over these last, whether it's 7 games, 6 games.
Who's a bad contract, Mosley?
I thought he meant the Jets taking on a bad contract.
Oh.
With trading him.
That's like a basketball trade.
Well, I mean, it's happened in the NFL. Who is it? When Cleveland took on Osweiler for a second-round pick that one year?
They cut him.
Like yeah. So, I mean, it's a possibility, I guess. We're going to have the cap space, so.
I don't think Joe Douglas will do that, though, man. He gathered all his cap space for a reason.
To get a first-round pick, though?
I don't think so.
If there's no options, so let's say the best offer you can get for Sam is, a late second and a fifth, but a team says, hey, take on this contract, even though it's going to mean, basically $12 million in dead money for 1 year, but you can get a late first-round pick for it?
I guess.
I'd probably do it. Because we're not winning anything next year. I mean.
Any 2021 Pro Bowlers on this roster?
Frank Gore.
Becton?
You could say Becton and Quinn Williams.
That's pretty much it. Right? I don't think there's anybody else.
Now. Yeah, right now.
Did you guys ever watch Joe Namath's footage? If so, what did you think? I haven't seen shit. Just the Super Bowl highlights and some other stuff, but nothing.
I've watched some games, but not enough to really say that, I can like break down his film or diagnose it or anything like that. He was kind of the old school gunslinger. I mean, threw a lot of interceptions, great deep ball. Could you imagine if I ever got a chance to interview Sam? Well, I wouldn't be able to get out of question.
No, it's tough, man. It's tough. Like some of the things and it's like, even like with Ty Montgomery, like I like talking to him. Like, so I just get excited to talk to him and have a chance to like ask not questions that you see in the media all the time. We get to ask our own questions about their workouts and talking to fans, all this shit like that. It's always, I don't know. That's just fun, man. Can I ask how y'all two got banned from the facility?
I mean, we didn't necessarily get banned per se. I feel like we're just kind of right now on
not
probation. Well, we're kind of on probation right now, but not really doing ourselves any favors in terms of getting on their good graces. We were guilty by association with some things last year that didn't go over so well, and we're putting out content that they probably don't agree with right now.
I guarantee they don't agree with.
So yeah, I mean, you
There's
use your own
rules that we just didn't follow.
Yeah. And again, at the end of the day, it's like you have a choice. You could either kind of spit out the talking points that they want you to spit out to stay in their good graces, or you can give your honest takes about things and put your own, kind of spin on it. And that's what we try to do here. We feel like this is more entertaining. It's more enjoyable. I think you guys see that it's more realistic and it's just more fun this way. So
yeah, they prefer the more X's and O's, very professional, very, that's just kind of things they, and we kind of go off the deep end. Sometimes they don't like that too much. So
sometimes.
Do you think Boyer should remain a special teams coordinator? I think that is the new coach's decision. Do not force any coordinator on the next coach.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. Not even just Boyer. I mean, Denard Wilson, Jim Bob Cooter, Frank Pollock, every single assistant coach, coordinator in that building should be determined by the next coach, if there's a next coach.
Who is my favorite fighter? Oh shit, man, that's a tough one. I couldn't even tell you. I got a lot. I got too many. I mean, I couldn't name just one, to be honest with you. Edson, Marlon. I mean, Frankie Edgar. I like McGregor. I like Paul Felder. I like all these guys, man. There's so many good guys.
All the
one thing
guys.
is, yeah, and the thing that is different about UFC fighters, or even fighters in general, that NFL players, is that fighters are nice as shit to fans, man, because they need you to buy their tickets. They want you to buy their gear. A lot of times you train with them. You can go to seminars. You can do a lot of things. If you see them at a fight, they take pictures. They hang out with you. Like, it's such a different celebrity than what minus McGregor. McGregor's a whole different animal. But
yeah, all
these other guys, man, like you see Frank Yeager walking down, you see him in the mall. You see him all over the place. Like, it's just fighters are so different, man. So NFL guys it's just different kind of professional athlete. Who's your favorite one, primetime?
I mean, I haven't been watching it religiously like you have for all these years. I was into it back in the day, with the, Tough Enough series, the, season 1 with Liddell and Ortiz. So I got into it with that. So yeah, I had a few fighters from back in the day that I really liked. I was a big Chuck guy. Anderson Silva, I liked at the time, but then kind of faded, with him a little bit with the doping stuff. Right now, probably Khabib. I mean, he's my top guy. I'm with you with Frankie Edgar as well.
Yeah, there's so many new exciting fighters coming on now. It's like some of the young guys are just taking the game by storm, man. Pennington or Sanchez? I mean,
Chad all day.
Yeah, all day with Chad. I like Sanchez too, but can't really do much about that one. Let's see.
A healthy Chad, I should say.
Yes. Let's see what we got here. Wait. Where are primetime sunglasses?
Shit.
Adam Gase took them.
There we go. My bad. Yeah, Adam Gase was borrowing them for a little bit.
Let's see. Live stream the Jets practice. Let's watch the UFC tomorrow. You can't stream the UFC, man. They crack down on that shit. I mean, you can.
Well, you can do a live stream where,
yeah, you can't. They are so friggin' tough, man. Tyson, did you see that Adam Schefter say Gase would not be the coach next year? We didn't see that. That actually was said when it was live. We were on the live stream. We didn't see it. I mean, let's hope it's true. Who knows, man?
I've seen that. Yeah, I mean, I've seen that a few times, but I've also seen, a number of other sources that, think he's going to be here next year. Tough to say. I hope it's right. I don't want to see Adam Gase any longer, but it's just a funny feeling he's coming back.
Here's one for your prime time. Rex Ryan or Herman Edwards?
Ooh, got to go Rex. Just for me, like the way he talked, like we were always the little brother to the Giants, and then the Patriots were running the division for all those years. And for those couple of years that Rex was here when we were good, that was like the one time in my life where you stuck your chest out. You were proud to be a Jet fan. You were kind of pompous and arrogant, and I enjoyed that. You never get to do that as a Jet fan. So Rex kind of led the way with that, and he just related to the fans, and I enjoyed that.
We needed him after Mangini, man. You need him because that was like the fire and brimstone, the passion. Like, it just gave us an identity for that amount of years. Two great playoff runs.
And I liked Herm too, but to me,
he won a lot too.
He played it too conservative for me. Like
that Pittsburgh Steelers playoff game set me back the anger and rage. Oh, fucking, that's just.
I mean, not that we probably were going to beat the Patriots the following week, but still, I mean, that was such a winnable game. Should have been in the championship game, and he probably would have got himself an extra, couple of years, leeway with that. But
what are you guys drinking? Cider boy, strawberry magic, apple strawberry hard cider.
I gotta try that. I'm still finishing the last of my Trulies.
Yeah, changed up a little bit tonight. Let's see. Who do you prefer as quarterback with how well Justin Fields has been playing? Trevor Lawrence versus Justin Fields? I have no idea.
I mean, it would be impossible, I think, to pass up Trevor Lawrence if you're sitting there number one overall, just because, again, we keep hearing best quarterback in a generation. So the idea of passing on him, I think, would be tough. But if you're sitting at pick 2, you could take Justin Fields, I guess, if you don't like Sam.
How did Kevin get the nickname Mr. Primetime?
It's all you.
He's the primetime producer, man. He was always in the spotlight. He's just because Kevin always dealt with the aftermath of our shit. And he always handled it so well, man. Like he was like the one professional one, always tried to do the right thing, and he always dealt with the chaos. So we called him primetime, right? Yeah,
for like a year or two, and then I started joining in on all the chaos.
He was always one that always stuck out because you're always a shining star amongst our delinquency. You're always the good one. Let's see. So you guys are being brutally honest. Yep, that's pretty much what it was. The Jets have some weird rules, man. They have some very, very strange rules. They're very hypocritical, so many things. And for a long period of time, you play by the rules because you want the access, you want to get the players, you want to do all these things. And then they just don't look at the big picture sometimes. And they just kind of flex their muscles how they want to, and you got to deal with it. Kind of, right? I mean, how else do you say it?
One of these shows, we have to come on and read that 3-page email that was sent to Jay and I when we were doing like the magazine stuff and all that.
Yep.
They literally tried to like take ownership of the color green, that the color green we were using was too much like the Jets color green. So like they just had a list of so many different things that as fans, we can't be doing to, try and profit and make money. When in reality, like we were just trying to cover the team. Like we were trying to have a good, good time covering the team, get our opinions out there. Maybe make a little career out of it, but yeah, they just tried to take us down. They had cease and desist letters, all this bullshit.
Do you think Joe Douglas and Adam Gase know about your show? Yes, I would say. I'm not sure about Joe Douglas. I would say the Jets do. I know 1,000%, 1,000,000% that they not only know about it, they're knowing what we're saying, what we're doing, when we're saying it. I guarantee they are.
Facts.
I can. That's a guarantee. No doubt about it.
Yeah, Joe Douglas and Gase specifically, probably not. Maybe Gase, but even still, I don't think they would have anything to do with it.
I think Gase probably does.
You think? Maybe somebody told him.
He's an insecure clown too, man. Like, but the Jets PR staff, they all know. I mean, we've talked to him, and when we were like on the radio show, and we used to go off the wall and do some crazy shit. Like they would tell us, "Man, you guys were really rough last Tuesday." Like they listened to our shit. Yeah. But they not only us though. Like if you don't play by their rules, they watch. Like, they watch all the podcasts. They watch social media. They watch all the podcasts. They watch all the YouTube streams, and they know which guys push the limit. Like there's a lot of podcasters that are family oriented and they just do X's and O's and they're very professional and all that, which we used to do for a couple of years. We did the same shit. But once you go down the other path where you don't play by the rules and you don't do what they want, like for a long time, we were turning down advertisers. We were getting all those betting sites. Remember the betting sites from overseas? Yep. But if you wanted to stay with a chance we can get interview players, you couldn't take overseas betting. You couldn't do this, you couldn't do that. So we weren't doing any of that to try to play by all these rules. Meanwhile, we weren't getting any fucking advertisers. Exactly. Like the few that we were getting, we were turning down.
Yep. So you could bet if when we had our small, our kind of small following, a couple of years ago, and they were still listening to every show, that now as our following's been growing since we kind of changed our style a little bit, I guarantee you they're listening to everything we say. They
keep an eye on everybody, and here's what it is, man. Listen, we're all fans, and we do you want.
And this is where you wish you had the Steve Cohen type of owner, because he even tweeted something out like a day or two ago. I forget exactly what he said, but like he'd rather have fans that are passionate and vocal, even if they're ripping the team, instead of fans that just don't care and that are apathetic. Because that's where a lot of fans are starting to go with this team, where they just don't give a shit. They don't care. They don't want to go to the games. They don't want to watch the games. They don't want to talk about the games because it's been 10 years since we've been able to watch good football.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like Like the weird thing is like the Jets were giving us a hard time, and we got credentialed. The Washington Redskins credentialed us. Like the Baltimore, I got credentialed by the Baltimore Ravens credentialed me. The Ravens and the Redskins, but the fucking Jets were mad at me and you. Like opposing teams are like, yeah, no problem, man. Whatever you want, come on down, we got you.
Yeah,
Cool.
the Redskins gave us full access for 3 straight days during the joint practices with the Jets and the Redskins. That was phenomenal.
And the weird thing was, like, our content was all fan driven. Like we were just trying to give information to fans that the general media wasn't giving.
Yep.
You know, it's so fucking ridiculous. A Notre Dame question here: Lou Holtz or Brian Kelly? Man, I love Lou Holtz. Lou Holtz was just the old fiery dude, and they won a lot of games, and
he was Jets coach for a little bit, right?
Very, very brief, 1 year, and just got run out of town. He just quit. I gotta go Lou Holtz. I mean, he's just Brian Kelly's got to prove. Brian Kelly saved them because they were going down the wrong path for a long period of time. They were just spiraling out of control. But I gotta go Lou Holtz with that one. Does Primetime still like Sam?
Yes, I do. Listen, until the season's over, until we are secured in the first overall pick spot, and until there's a new head coach that says, I want Sam out of here, I'm not letting the performance of Darnold in an Adam Gase system where he's had no pieces around him determine what he can or can't be yet. So at 23 years old, when he's had shit around him his entire career, along with a lot of bad luck too, I just think it's foolish to make any kind of, statement on him one way or another that he's either a franchise quarterback or he's a bust yet. It's just way too soon to say.
Giants versus Eagles or Bengals versus Steelers with the games in our area Sunday. If you want to live stream, down for either. Romeo, thank you for promoting us, because when we do all the live streams, I don't tweet at all, and Primetime's killing me for that because I haven't really done shit. But there's a lot to keep track of all this, so thank you for promoting us on Twitter, man. We definitely appreciate it. We got to do better than that. Bengals Steelers would be fun. Joe Burrow playing against the Steelers.
Yeah, I was gonna say the one clip that he posted when I think it was like all the first down runs and you were going nuts. That was funny to watch that back.
That was funny as shit.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Bengals Steelers would be a fun game. Burrow against Roethlisberger.
You guys trying to collaborate with the Jets 24/7 guys? They mentioned having you on their show. Yeah, they reached out to us and we said we would try to. Like right now, we're doing like 4 shows a week or some shit. So we're trying to get this all. Yeah, we're new to all this.
Yeah, I know they do Monday and Tuesday nights. So like we also do Monday, Tuesday nights. So I'm thinking like when the season's over and we kind of have a chance to take a step back a little bit, we'll find time to get on the same page with everybody.
Yeah, and we appreciate you guys mentioning us to everybody too, because a lot of these I don't even know of. Like we reach, I don't know. I don't really watch a lot of them because I got fucking work too much.
Yeah.
Mr. Primetime, are you a Deion Sanders fan?
Actually not.
What?
Again,
how can I like Deion?
It's not like I don't like him.
Oh, he was so good.
Revis was still better.
Deion was so friggin' explosive, dude. The ball in his hand, man. When interception was taken to the house, he was.
I prefer Leon Sandcastle also, but.
How do you guys still like the Jets with how they treated you? I mean, listen. First of all, like to have a chance to do what we've done has been awesome. Like when the Jets were cool with us, they gave us some really, really cool opportunities. We had full access to we did a lot of really cool shit.
Yep. And
that's just part of it. We have our own. We want to do our own thing. So we're fans. We're always gonna be fans, and that's it. Like they made a decision. We made our own.
Yeah, I don't personally have any hard feelings. I mean, if they ever wanted to reach out again and kind of clear the air, that'd be fine with us, I think. But yeah, like you also said, I mean, for 4 to 5 years, we were able to kind of live out our dream. We were on the sidelines every day during training camp. Got to interview players. I mean, that was everything that we wanted to do. So, the Jets were able to kind of give us a lot of that access. And I just, maybe we were being a little bit greedy, but I felt like we earned a little bit more than that. And, we didn't really get rewarded with anything. And then, the negative show started, and it is what it is where we're at now. I mean, I don't have any ill will towards anybody.
No, listen, like, I know, like now it's almost like, like we know we're on the shit list. So now going there would just be completely awkward. Like there's those guys that fucking want everybody fired and hate this and hate that and rip us all the time. Like, it is what it is. Like, I don't know. Yeah. What are you going to do? Shit happens. Let's see. They always think we're hurting our students. Ibrima, thank you, man. Whoa. You're just on a roll tonight. Jesus,
appreciate it, man.
The 49ers offered Joe Douglas, George Kittle, a 2021 first-round pick, a 2022 first-round pick, and a third round this year and next year. Would that farm really improve the Jets? For what?
I'm assuming for the first overall pick to get Trevor
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Dude, how would you not do that?
Oh, so wait. So now you're willing to trade the first overall pick
for Kittle, 2 first-round picks, and a third-round pick? It's 4 picks and George Kittle?
That's less than the package that I've been suggesting, which is like 3 first-rounders and seconds and thirds. The only difference is George Kittle.
Who's what? A game-breaking player?
Yeah.
Dude, that's a fucking haul and a half, man. That's 4 picks. You're getting 3 picks, another first-round pick, 2 picks, and Kittle? That would never happen, but
listen, I would probably do it too. But that's what I'm saying though. Like if the right package is offered, where you could put like a better team around Sam, as opposed to taking Trevor Lawrence and having all these holes that you're still going to have to address
that first
over
round
2 to
pick
3
could
years.
be a high pick too, because they're shit in the bed this year.
Yeah, that's true.
Good question. I mean, Abrima, thank you, man. It's crazy. Let's see. Only player I talked to is Tony Richardson. He was really cool. We talked to him too, man. He was awesome.
Yep.
He's like one of the first ones that came on. Him and Eric Coleman.
Yep.
Who Eric Coleman was super awesome too.
Thomas Jones also was really good.
Oh, one of my favorites. That was one of the guys that got starstruck too. When he started talking to us, I was completely fucking stuttering and terrible. He's super cool. If you follow him on Twitter, man, he answers most comments, man. He's super cool about it. Let's see. Did I ever meet Ronda Rousey? No, I did not. Met Misha Tate. Ronda was very standoffish. She wasn't very about the fans, especially when in her heyday. She was overwhelmed with media, man. Like UFC just swarmed her at all kinds of shit. Let's see. Yeah, hopefully Herman Edwards feels better very quickly. He was tested positive for COVID-19. I'm sorry. Yep. Sucks. I love Herman, man. He's doing a hell of a job at Arizona State too.
Yeah.
Do you think the Saints are Super Bowl contenders after that blowout win? I think so.
I didn't think so early in the year with the way Breeze was playing, but yeah, I mean, you take down the Bucs the way they did. I mean, they got to be in the conversation. But the NFC is pretty loaded though. So between the Seahawks, who I think are going to be a contender, the Bucs are obviously going to be there. Rams, I think, might be in it. Packers, obviously. I mean, a lot of teams that are going to be in it.
Tyson, when the Jets make you pissed, do you pummel your students to death in anger? I don't pummel them, Dylan. I just make my class a little bit harder than usual. So, I mean,
you're making them better.
Yes, conditioning, man. We call it cardio. We're building your cardio more.
Exactly. What Adam Gase doesn't practice.
Jets trying to control y'all without paying y'all. No, the Jets never paid us. We never worked directly for them.
Nope.
But what they did was there was rules that the NFL and the Jets wanted you to avoid certain sponsors and advertisers. And if you did that, you had chances to, you're not forbid from interviewing players and shit like that. That's kind of how it works.
But that's also like what was kind of unfair and what kind of sucked was that like they don't realize how much like time we sacrifice to do all this stuff. Yeah. So like any little opportunity you have to make like a few cents to try and take that away. Like I used to teach in the summer also, like full time. And then once we started getting the opportunities to get credentialed, I stopped teaching altogether in the summer. Mm-hmm. And that was my job. I would wake up in the morning and I'd go to training camp and then, we'd do our videos and, I'd have all my notes. I would tweet everything out, write articles. Like that became my job, even though I wasn't getting paid for it at all. So like any opportunity you have to make a little bit of money for them to like, try and penny pinch like that when they're making billions and billions, it's like, really?
And now you look at the NFL's now they're involved all the betting stuff and shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy. How do the Jets allow Williamson on Benigno and Roberts show if they're insecure? Listen, the Jets, they approve interviews. Like we had a lot of players on. They'll approve certain things as long as you play by their rules. Like there's certain things they just don't want you to do. And we're only 2 fans, man. We're like WFAN is a prominent media outlet. When you're some random podcast or live stream shit like that, they can harbor other things against you. So, which is wild.
But you would think to a certain extent it would be the opposite, considering like Benigno and Roberts, they have far greater outreach than we do on here. But
yep. Do the Jet fans love or hate Keyshawn?
I hated him for a while once the trade happened because again I was younger at the time. I was like, oh, he dissed the Jets and fuck him. But at the end of the day, like 20 years later, you see, all right, what happened with him? What happened with Revis? What happened with Jamal? Maybe it's more of a Jets issue instead of a star player issue.
Well, I think the problem with Keyshawn was the Keyshawn-Corbett relationship. They hated each other, so people sided with Corbett, who was a feel-good story coming out of Hofstra, Garfield, New Jersey.
Yep.
Just did so many great things as an undrafted guy. Well, Keyshawn was number one pick in the draft. You know what I mean? So it's like flamboyant. I love Keyshawn. Loved him. My favorite player. Signed jersey. I have a wall of shit signed by him. I fucking wrote for his website, for Christ's sakes. I love the guy. But it's just, I don't think, looking back at it now, it's like he had probably one of the best playoff performances. That Jacksonville Jaguar game was fucking legendary, man.
Yeah, rushing touchdown, receiving touchdown, and a pick, right?
Interception and a fumble recovery.
Yeah.
Doesn't get much better than that. What's up, guys? I'm turning 16 on Sunday. Well, happy early birthday. Can't wait to drive.
Isn't that 17?
Say that now. Say that now until you try to go in the Garden State Parkway in fucking rush hour, man.
Ugh.
It's like a goddamn NASCAR race.
That's why I'm glad I moved. I used to take the Parkway every day to work coming from Edison when I
dude.
traveled
What's
to
today?
Summit,
Today's what? Friday? Wednesday, I thought I was going to die, dude. It was like rainy, foggy. Everybody's doing like 85 miles an hour. And I thought I was going to die. Like, there's no way I'm surviving this trip. I was shocked I survived. Worst fucking road. That and 287. Kiss my ass. Let's see. Who do you think has been the Jets' best coordinator last decade?
Ooh. Offensive or defensive? I'm assuming offense, probably.
Any.
If we're going with the last decade, is it crazy to suggest that it's either John Morton or Chan Gailey?
Brant Boyer? Best coordinator. Trying to think. Who they had under Rex? Casey Rogers was fucking horrendous.
Well, no, that was Bowles.
Bowles, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Rex was the other clown. Mike Pettin.
Yeah. Tony Sperano's no better.
Terrible. Gase.
Brian Schottenheimer, I think, was just outside of the last decade.
Yep. Morton, Gailey.
Jeremy Bates.
That's that's a really good question, Luca.
It might have to be like Chan Gailey or John Morton, to be honest. I mean,
Jesus Christ, it shows how bad we are. My God. Let's see.
I think that was the purpose of that question.
Favorite Jet receiver of all time? Brilliant. Edwards.
I love the backflip. I'm not gonna lie.
Man, that's tough because I love Keyshawn. Obviously, there's Corbett. You have Cotchery, Coles. There's some really good ones, man. Like a lot of them, like are just not like like Cotchery was just such a class act, man. Like he did a lot of shit for charity. He used to do a charity event every year, which is really, really cool.
And even on the field, like he was never a splashy guy, but just always consistent, always made the play. But for me, I mean, it would probably be Corbett just from the time I grew up, and he was one of the guys I looked up to. So it'd probably be him for me.
Yeah, that's interesting. Definitely interesting. So when you're getting Fireman Ed on, I gotta text him. I'll text him and ask him because yeah, fuck it. Actually, if you're on my Instagram, I posted a picture of Fireman Ed. He came in to our school when we did some boxing together. He had pads on him, man. That was cool shit. That was another really cool guy, man. He's a lot of fun.
How's his cardio?
Dude, he's in good shape, man. He comes out, he fucking jumps all kinds of rope and shit. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna test him because I always push the pace. And you see, dude, we push the pace.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm gonna push him a little bit. See, dude, he didn't back down at all. And his left hook is nasty. Like he has some pop because he's a big dude. Like you don't realize how big he is. Like you always see him in the jersey and stuff. Like he was like, dude, he's a tank.
Yep.
His left hook is no shit.
What's funny is that like of all the talk that we've had about like being starstruck around certain players, to be honest, like the most starstruck I might have been is like interviewing Fireman Ed and like when we were doing shows with him back in the day. Like that might have been. I remember that. Yeah, outside the stadium when we were doing some of the live streams. Yeah, but like being able to talk with Fireman Ed like as a kid, 2 sections over, he's leading the chants on the big screen, 80,000 fans, and all of a sudden you're sitting right next to him. It's like.
Yeah, and the thing was, we got thrown into shit. Like Jay would just say, "All right, here's Mo Wilkerson. Go interview him." Yep. Like when? Like now? Yep. Like here's my microphone. Like what? What? Yep. Like Snacks Harrison. Like I was like, I gotta. I was. Some
that was at the bowling event, right?
Yeah, that was tough, man.
Yeah.
How'd you guys feel about the Favre era? I mean, I was an enormous Brett Favre fan. Enormous. Went to his first practice at Hofstra. Bought all the jerseys, the helmets, the autographs. And then he got hurt and just fucking stopped playing and ruined it.
if I could be honest, there was like a 2-minute period where I hated the move just because I love Chad so much. And then obviously, like once training camp started, I was all about him. And then the way the season started, you were 8-3, you were feeling great about yourselves, and then he got hurt, and that was it, one and done.
Yeah, man, he was definitely just. It's just like that as a Jets fan, it's like getting that guy on your team. You're like, holy shit! Like this Jets legend, this legendary quarterback is a member of the Jets. Like this is wild. And then like the first practice, you see him throwing rockets. You're like, like it's just it was,
Yeah, it's like early on, you're probably expecting everything to go wrong. He's getting a little bit up there in age. Maybe he's past his prime. But then like you're 8-3, and you're like, all right, we have a legitimate chance to make a run here.
Yep.
Nope.
Best place to meet players are in situations where the team is not involved. Met J.R. Smith at the PGA store, Superstore, testing out putters. Yeah, dude, I used to go to the what you call it? What the hell is that on Route 3? It's like Clifton. They used to do the NFL Cadillac Golf Classic over there on what the hell road is that? Route 3 in Clifton. Over there, that golf course over there. Dude, all the players. I got a really funny story for you. So it was like I went there to go see Testaverde and who was it? Testaverde, Brian Cox, and somebody else. I want to go get their autographs. So I went with my dad, hanging out. I had like a Jets helmet and a little hat and all this other shit, right? So I'm like, you got all 18 holes, right? So I'm like, you know what? The guy's like, listen, don't go by the first 2 holes because all the fans all sit there. He goes, go walk in the back more, and the players just there and talk to you and shit. I'm like, all right. So, dude, I go walk down to like 9th hole. My dad's like, dude, this is way too far. I'm like, nah, whatever. 9th hole. Sitting there. Here comes fucking Emmitt Smith.
Oh, shit.
By himself, not a soul with him. So he's how you guys doing? Good, talking to my dad and shit. He's like, you want anything signed? I'm like, I have a fucking Jets helmet and a Jets hat. I'm like, Emmett, you're not gonna believe this, man. I'm like, I don't have nothing for you to sign. I'm like, I love Emmitt Smith. But like, I'm a Jets fan. I'm like,
wait, you turned down the autograph just because you only had Jet stuff?
Yeah, what was he gonna sign? All I had was a Jets hat and a Jets helmet.
Yeah, you let him sign the Jets helmet.
You can't do that. You can't
It's Emmitt Smith. It's Emmitt Smith.
So he's laughing. He's like,
Emmitt Smith autograph.
But dude, he was joking me. He's like, you mean to tell me that you want nothing signed right now? He's like, you serious? I'm like, Emmett, I'm not lying. I have nothing for you to sign, dude. I'm like, I have nothing. He's like, he goes, Jets fans. And he walked away. And I'm like, dude, I love you, man. I'm like, shit, but I'm like, I don't have nothing for like. My dad's like, just like rookie. You're such a rookie.
Yeah, give him your sneaker or something. You don't walk away from Emmitt Smith without an autograph, especially when he's volunteering to sign something for you.
Dude, he was walking down the fairway, and he actually walked over to us, assuming that all right, I'll go sign his autograph. I'm like, I got nothing, dude. I got nothing for you. And he's just like, what?
Yeah, that was a rookie move.
Fucking rookie move. But those all those kind of charity events are always really, really cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Congrats to both of you for what you do for the kids. I don't do shit. Primetime does.
I try to, but
I teach like adults and stuff, or all ages actually. But yeah, no. I mean, I just love the sport. Who's your favorite football commentator? Tony Romo.
Yeah, he's got to be up there. I used to love. I mean, not that he's really a commentator, but the voice of the Jets, Bob Wischusen. I mean, there was nothing better than like after a win, getting into the car right away and then hearing the playback. So.
See, I'd love to join your class. I'd had that extra energy to burn because I pissed by the Jets. Dude, I teach at 2 schools in New Jersey, man. So come on down. I teach every night. I teach fucking Monday through Friday and Saturday morning. So
drink a lot of water before you go if you do.
Yep. Cream Ridge, New Jersey or Brick, New Jersey. And hit us up. TalkJetsRadio@gmail.com or message me. Want to come down and get a trial? Primetime's come in. He's trained. How cool is Nicotone School, man? It's fucking beautiful.
It's amazing, but you're going to feel like shit the next day. So
why is that, man?
I was hurting the next day, man. I wasn't ready for that.
Are you guys hockey fans too?
I am. Big Ranger fan. So I'm excited for Kako and Lafreniere.
Yeah, I used to like the Devils, but I'm not. I'm more just like MMA and football now. The Devils priced me out and pissed me off, and I'm still bitter about it.
Jets didn't price you out more?
Yeah, they did. But the Devils they're like a little team, dude. Like they don't have half the following. Like they acted like they did. They won all the Stanley Cups and shit. And they go to Newark, and it was like, and the Newark Arena is beautiful. I'm sure you've been there, right?
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome. Love it. The whole Bud Light bar and all the other shit. Dude, it's expensive as hell. Like, dude, the fans they didn't think it out too well. Let's see. You're my favorite YouTube channel. Don't stop. We definitely appreciate that. Indy Colt. Are you a Colts fan? He's got to be, right?
Has to be.
My pleasure, fellas. Yeah, Romo, thank you, man. I think you tweeted something out just now, too. We definitely appreciate it. Let's see. Keyshawn is a big Sam fan. Yeah, it's that USC shit.
Yep. I trust him on that. No bias. He's a talented quarterback.
Let's see. Tyson, what year you first started watching the Jets? 81 was yours. Well, the first game I went to with my father, because he couldn't get Giants tickets, so we went to a Jets game and it backfired on him. It was 1986 when I was a kid. And that was it. I heard one Jet chant. I saw the barbecues and the fireplaces, and the stadium was like bigger than life. And you see the players like, this is wild. And it blew up my dad's face.
It's funny that your first year was 81. I'm not positive about this, but my dad said that the first year that he started getting season tickets was right after the 81 season, which was when I'm pretty sure the Jets beat the Packers the last week of the year at Shea Stadium. They tore down the goalpost and everything. So he was there for that game. And then after that, he just said he was hooked. So he ordered season tickets the following year, and we've been going ever since.
Tyson, let Primetime pick the comments for once. He let you do all the work. You ain't shitting, dude. William, you cannot be more right. I got to set up all the fucking shit. I got to answer all the goddamn comments. I got to pick all these things out, and then he criticizes me.
All right, so you know what? Next time you wear the donkey mask for 45 minutes and sweat your ass off and see how you're doing.
Dude, that's fair. I mean, you're a champ at that because I couldn't.
Yeah. There you go.
That's a good answer. Mike Westhoff, best coordinator.
Totally forgot Westhoff. How do we forget Westhoff? Oh, was he still around the last decade?
He wasn't.
I think he was for a few of those Rex years, right?
Yeah, he was. He was, right?
Yeah, he had to have been. I'll look it up just to be sure. I want to say like 2013, maybe he left.
The most intimidating person ever I've talked to. It's fucking scared shitless to interview him. How can you 287? Best place to do 100 on? Carlos, I got news for you, dude. When I do
287.
Dude, when I get on from exit 1 because I'm coming from South Jersey in the morning at what time is it? It's gonna be like 6:15 in the morning. The merge from the Garden State Parkway to get on 287 is a goddamn nightmare. And then like exit like 6 or 7, and the merge from exit 9 to get off on exit 10 is a goddamn nightmare. Whoever created the fucking road should be shot because it's insane. Like I couldn't imagine an out of towner trying to figure this shit out because I've lived here for all my life, dude, and I still fucking get scared trying to cut over and get over and figure it out. Fuck 287. Hate that road.
Mike Westhoff left the Jets in 2012, so yes, he would be part of the last decade. So
he's it then. He wins.
He would have to be it.
Yeah, that's a great. I forgot all about him. Oh, this is a good one. Most arrogant person from the Jets you've met.
I gotta think on that one for a little bit.
Yes, PT, please. At least he won't miss. I don't know. Pretty please. At least he won't miss donations. What the fuck is it? It's always bothering me.
I'll never miss donations. Most intimidating Jet.
Getting that prime time without him getting the sunglasses.
I'm still trying to think of
that. Most arrogant. I know who it is. I got mine.
Who you got?
So this is the guy that's the biggest pain in the ass, right? Or most arrogant Jet, right? That was the question that we were asked?
Yeah.
Santonio Holmes. Not even close. Santonio Holmes was by far the most arrogant person I've ever dealt with in my entire life. To the point where
you got to talk to him?
Mm-hmm. At his bowling event, where he would only sign certain autographs at his own bowling event. Like, dude, wow. like the girl came up to him, a young girl, dude, probably 15 years old, with a Steelers jersey. And he's like, I'm only signing Jet stuff tonight.
That's fucked up.
Like, dude, you're at a charity event. People paid money to be here to see you and sign stuff. He was the biggest pain in the ass at his own charity event. The biggest turnoff of all time, dude. Like, I couldn't believe the way he was acting. Yeah. Like, it was just like, what are you doing here, man? Like, this is...
Yes, yeah, so as far as the guys I've actually met, I mean, I don't think there's anybody I could say, but like from being younger, it might actually be Keyshawn, just because my impressions, like, you know, going to the games early, getting, you know, Curtis Martin, Corbett, Mawai, all those guys, they were stars. They signed every autograph. Keyshawn Johnson gave his quick little wave, went right in, never once stopped. So, I mean, he would probably be the guy, but again, I never actually met him, talked to him. So,
thank you very much, Ignacio. Appreciate it. Yeah, Santonio Holmes was the one, man. That was one of the biggest. I mean, yep. Some of the comments on here. Yeah, he wasn't actually for his own charity event.
Yeah.
You learn a lot about players at charity events when they act like complete clowns. You know who else was a prick? Plaxico Burress.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Jamal.
Nope. Plaxico Burress. He did. Bart Scott did a go-kart event in Jersey City, where you come in and you could actually race go-karts against the players. And dude, it was a who's who of players at the time, like Sanchez. Who else there? Sanchez, Kotri, Dustin Keller. They were all there, dude. Everyone was there. Plaxico comes in hour and a half late, like he owns the place. People are walking up to him and like, hey man, like, dude, it's like a go-kart track. It wasn't a lot of people. Maybe 150 fans, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Couldn't be bothered, man. What he did was he carried, I think it was his child he carried with him. Like I carried him. So fans weren't bothering for autographs then because he's carrying his child, right? So he put his child down. Like he walked up and he's like, no, man, I can't sign autographs tonight. Like the reason why you came here, man, is because people want to, you're here to say you can do what? Not get free food and have a drink and hang out. You're to hang out with fans and promote a good cause. Yeah. Like Bart Scott did some tremendous events, man. Awesome events. Plaxico is such a clown, though. Like, it was so disappointing to see him act like that. When he's not even like, he just got back in the league, man. Like, you're just getting back. You're getting back on your feet. Jet fans embraced him at the time. We all liked him and stuff. We were happy they had him. It was so weird, man. It's just.
Should have kept Braylon.
Yeah. I like Braylon, too. I mean, he was super cool, too.
Yeah, he only signed for like, what, $3 million in that offseason?
Tyson, did you hit up Atlantic City while it was pumping in the 90s? Of course, man. I hit it up like 2 years ago. Go down there. I went to Hard Rock last year and saw, who was it? Shinedown, Papa Roach, and somebody else. Go down there for the fights. I mean, Atlantic City's got some good times still.
I haven't been there in a while. Actually, I think the last time I was there was with Fireman Ed.
Prime time. When does the pain end?
I wish I had an answer. I don't know. I don't know. I think the pain will slightly end when or if Adam Gase gets fired, but I'm still not even confident that that's going to happen. So we might be looking at another painful year after this.
Be honest, we were all mad when the Jets lost on Monday. Completely false. I was relieved. Yeah. I was happy.
I was glad that some of the young guys played well, but yeah, I mean, if we're looking long-term best interest of the team, it's losing the game, getting the draft pick, and giving yourself that, that opportunity to either take the quarterback or trade it for a ransom and bring in a new coach that's going to be attracted by that.
Is there anything that would make you guys dump the Jets once and for all? I mean, look what they've done to us already. They priced most people out of the stadium. They've lost endlessly. They've banned us from they took away our credentials. I mean, after all this, like, what else could they possibly do? They haven't won shit. They're not an easy team to support. They make a lot of decisions that we hate. I mean, what else can they possibly know what they can do? There's one thing they could do. If they moved, the New York Jets left this area and went somewhere else, I'm done. Like, you leave New York, New Jersey area, I'm out.
Even that,
I'm done. If they move to like fucking like Texas or like Idaho, they're still gonna support them?
I think I would have to, because it would pay me to watch, like, when the Browns went to Baltimore and they won a Super Bowl. Like, imagine being a Brown fan and then watching your team basically win a Super Bowl as a different team. Like, that would fucking hurt. So I feel like I would have to still root for them.
They leave, they're out. They're dead to me. Have you met Marvin Jones? I have. Have you, Primetime?
I got his autograph a couple times, but I haven't actually like talked to him.
He came to our tailgate. Remember? Were you there for that?
I was there, but I didn't talk to him though.
Super cool guy, man. Yeah. Super cool guy. Yeah, he came to the tailgate.
I think I got a quick picture with him, but I don't think I talked to him at all.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun, man. Definitely good follow on Twitter. He'll say whatever he wants. Let's see here. Tyson, where can you sign up for your classes? Are they available to rugby players? Yeah, it's MMA school, man. It's boxing, kickboxing. Brick, New Jersey, or Cream Ridge, New Jersey. Message me on Twitter or whatever, and I get you. It's no big deal. Free.
Where's Cream Ridge at?
Cream Ridge is out by like Jackson.
Okay.
It's like that's a new school opened up like a month and a half ago. Phenomenal jiu-jitsu program, man. Next level jiu-jitsu there. Ridiculously good. And then the guy Nicholas Mota, the guy that went on the Contender Series that just won, guy's UFC contract. Yep. He's one of the instructors there.
Nice.
Yeah, good dude. Really good dude.
Oh, you got the contract?
He got the contract right after his fight.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Let's see. Dylan's still fucking with me. Unbelievable. I could only imagine where the Jets would have been if we hired the right coach and fired McCagnon with Bowles that day. You guys are the best. Thank you. I mean, the handling of McCagnon, man, letting him spend that money, letting him draft the players is just so friggin' ridiculous when they fired him. Just made no sense whatsoever.
Nope.
Remember we went off. Remember I went off the deep end. Remember I was just flipping out and like, you're overreacting. Remember?
We all did, and that was still when I was trying to defend McCagnon at times, but like once he was fired, you can't make any rational argument to say, all right, it makes sense to spend all this money and go through an entire draft and have all these players be stuck with a head coach that doesn't want them, and then bring in a new general manager who's going to be saddled with the responsibility of trying to clean up this mess for 2 years. It made no sense.
That shit. We went off, dude. And be like, oh, you're overreacting. At least he's gone. I'm like, oh yeah.
To do it that way just didn't make any sense.
Let's see. We got here. Bart Scott was definitely a cool dude. He is. I got a really cool Bart Scott story for you. I was a big fan of his, man. When they signed him, I was all about him, right? So after practice, I had his T-shirt, and he's walking around signing autographs, but he's getting ready to leave. So I yell at him. Like, this is when the practice was at MetLife. So I yell at him. I'm like, dude, I have your shirt. He's like, bro, I got you. So he's getting ready to walk off. So I'm like, dude, I throw it to him. He fucking signs it, throws it back to me. He's like, then he comes back and he's like, anybody that has my gear, I will always sign their shit. I'm like, all right, whatever, right? Yeah. So then the next, it must have been a preseason game or some shit. I had his jersey. So he comes walking by and I'm like, dude. And he looks at me and he's like, take the jersey up. He fucking signs it.
Nice. There you go.
He does a really good shtick on the radio, stuff like that, and like on SNY when he does a show. In person, he is such a good dude, man. Really, really generous with his time with the fans. He does a lot of really cool shit.
And for your Bart Scott story, I guess I'll give my David Harris story, since this is one. You know this story, right? Mm-hmm. So we're at the Mo Wilkerson charity bowling event, and this is just after David Harris, he was released, right, by the Jets, I think, at the very end. Yeah. So he was released. He's a free agent. And me and Jay, we sat down. We actually get an interview with him. We weren't expecting it, but he gave us a couple minutes. And at the very end of the interview, we were like, just promise us one thing, that you're not going to sign with the Patriots. Yeah. And he gives this like very awkward laugh. Like he knew it was going to happen. He just said, anything could happen. Right. So we finish up the interview, go check the camera. The fucking guy that was recording it didn't hit record. So, so we never got the interview on camera, but he pretty much gave the indication that he was about to sign with the Patriots. So we had the scoop before it happened.
I remember I heard when it happened, I remember that one.
Yep. And it was such a good interview too. Like even aside from like the Patriots stuff, like just him talking about his career as a Jet, it was such a good interview. And
it's one of my favorite players, man. He's such a good long time Jet.
Yep.
Played the game the right way, stay out of trouble. Just met Ray Lucas at a golf outing. Really cool guy. Yeah, I mean, he's another Jersey guy. Let's see. Curious, what is your guys' honest opinion on Jets going 0-16? Likewise, what do you think the actual chances they don't win a game this season? I think they're going to get the second pick in the draft. I think they're going to win a game. Maybe two.
Wouldn't shock me. I mean, they were in it with the Patriots and Browns, Chargers. I think definitely winnable, and you get the Pats again. Wouldn't shock me if they win one or two.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that Jay just ratting people out now. just no friends here. Yep. Indy Cole, thank you. Indy, a Cole fan supporting us.
Appreciate it.
Ignacio, just because you guys can get some beers and watch some good football and not having to watch the Jets be the Jets, also is Gase breaking down film still from that interview still makes me laugh. Ignacio, I'm not going to lie to you, man. It is tough when primetime gets rolling and I see, like, dude, when you do the look away, when you look around, dude, I die. And then the freaking ear, I couldn't stop looking at the ears. Like, the ears kept moving. Like, it's just.
I've got the eye stare mastered from Gase.
Oh, it's so hard to try to even remotely stay serious with that shit. Primetime, do you lift?
I used to. It's been about, I don't know, a year and a half since I've done it like seriously. I've been doing more cardio stuff. I was actually I was above 225. So all right, I need to drop some weight. Got myself down to 185. So now I want to start getting back into lifting again, but it's been a while. I need some motivation to get back into it.
Let's see. What is this out here? Primetime. Tyson Kevin, would Jets consider trading first overall for Dakota?
For who?
Dakota. I really don't know.
Who's Dakota?
Got me. Have you ever met Eric Decker and Brandon Marshall? Met both of them. Kevin?
Oh, my first interview was Brandon Marshall. You know, me and Jay, we traveled out to Brooklyn where he was doing some event at like some Foot Locker or Champs. I forget exactly what it was. And yeah, he was in a hurry. We got there with like 10 minutes left. And luckily enough, they gave us like 30 seconds and he was intimidating as fuck. But I asked my 3 questions and it was pretty cool. So at least he gave us the time.
I actually interviewed Eric Decker at his Decker Dogs event. Jay did an event for the Decker's Dogs. They do the military dogs that help the soldiers, which is a phenomenal event. Him and Jesse do a lot of really cool shit for the soldiers. And dude, another guy was kind of intimidating. It was like kind of dark and like I was hungover as fuck the day before because of the game. And it was in a bowling alley. It was a super cool event, but he was really nice, man. Really respectful, really cool, definitely down to earth. And they have such a celebrity following, man. Like Jesse James Decker probably has a lot more fans than he has.
Wish I got to interview her.
Oh, stunning in person too, man. But yeah, he's another cool guy though. Jay put us in a lot of situations where you're just like, you know, like it's fucking like crazy. He'd be like, "All right, dude, you're going to interview Eric Decker now." Like, what?
Yeah,
that's when I interviewed. That's when I interviewed what's his face, fucking Bryce Petty.
No, we got to find that interview.
Oh my god,
that was a fun one.
Jesus Christ, what a disaster. Let's see what we got here. Well, I never realized how many players we fucking talked to. Have you met Nick Mangold? A bunch of times. Nick Mangold's all about the fans, man.
I'll say last year at the MetLife event, he was there, signing autographs and with all the Jets legends.
But even when he was a player, he did a lot of stuff too. He was always that. He did a shitload of autograph signings all over the place.
Yep.
You really think this incompetent organization could move to another state? No, they make too much money here. We actually met Primetime and met Mo Lewis at the Jets season ticket holder event.
Yep.
Quiet guy.
They had a lot of good Jets legends there. John Abraham was there. First time I got to meet him, get an autograph. Who else was there? There was a number of players that were there.
Yeah, there's a lot of you got David Harris, the Brickashaw, Victor Green. There's a lot of good guys there.
I forgot about Victor Green.
Do you teach jiu-jitsu? No, I teach Muay Thai and boxing and kickboxing. Jiu-jitsu is not my thing, man. I don't roll. I have takedown defense, and that's it. You could choke the shit out of me. I don't. Terrible on the ground. Cream Ridge is near Philly. Am I really a Philly fan? Fuck. Listen, you know what? I like the Eagles, man. I like the Eagles because their fans are just as rowdy and crazy as we are. And when they won, I was happy for them. I hate the Phillies, but I like the Eagles. Like just as like because their fans are just nuts. All right, prime time. If the Jets left, would you adopt a new team and would it be the Giants? No.
I would never be able to root for the Giants, and even if they left, I'd still probably be a Jet fan just because it would feel too weird just hopping on another team. Because like if that team wins, what does that mean for me? I mean, I don't have the connection for 32 years rooting for them, suffering through all the losses. So the only way it would feel the same watching a Super Bowl win is if you stuck with the same team that you had as a kid.
Ravens. I go right to the Ravens.
Oh.
I love that, dude. No, the Jets left because their fan, dude. The stadium environment there. I mean, I was there for the whole Ray Lewis shit and Ed Reed and all those guys, but dude, that place gets loud. It's crazy. It's just great food down there. I'm done. No problem.
But then if they win, like, what does it mean to you?
Yeah, but I mean, if the Jets left, they got to find somewhere else to go. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Have you ever met IK Enikapali?
Have not.
The funny thing, you want to know something fucked up? Is we were scheduled to interview him before he did that shit, remember? He agreed to come on the show.
That's right.
He was going to come on, like what? Remember that? He was going to come on the show, and then all that shit happened.
I think that was like right before we had, who is it? Julian Hauser on and some of those other guys.
Yep.
That's funny. Totally forgot we had him.
Let's see. All these questions. Did you meet Sheldon Richardson? We actually bowled with him. He actually was on our bowling lane with him.
Yeah. That was the first event that I went to that night. And yeah, he was on our same lane. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, he was cool as shit. Revis, I mean, I have a couple times. I met him his rookie year when he went to Jericho Cotchery's bowling event in New York City, and nobody knew who he was. He was standing there against the wall, just standing there. So I walked up to him like, "What's up, Darrell? How you doing?" He's all right, good. He signed all kinds of shit. He's like, all right. And dude, nobody even fucking bothered him. Nobody had idea who he was.
He's a
Real-
quiet dude, so yeah.
Real quiet, man. He got and just stood there and he didn't really say a lot.
With Revis, though, it was really cool. The last good thing, I guess, that the Jets did for us was allowing us to go to his retirement press conference. So I was there for that, and that was pretty cool.
Let's see. Have you met Primetime? You met Sam? I have not.
I have not. It's one of my regrets.
Have you met Geno Smith?
Have not met Geno, no.
I met Geno. The one they had like the one of those fucking what do they call like during mini camp things where you can go like their season ticket holder things. A friend of mine brought me.
Yeah.
Met Geno. Geno was cool. He was a nice guy though.
Pretty much like everyone from 97 or 98 to like 2003, I probably met at some point because that was like right before tailgating when I would always do like the autograph thing going to the games. But after that, it's been either like for interviews, stuff like that.
Let's see. All these freaking questions here. Brad Smith. Hi, guys. My question is overlooked. Okay. Now you gotta go find your question.
Come on, Tyson.
Prime time. Don't even start your bullshit, man. I'm trying the best I can to find these questions. Ask it again, man. Because it's easier just to ask it again and we'll figure it out. Brad Smith was a very versatile player. Where did he go when he left? Where did he go to the Bills? Where did he go when he left?
I think he was with Buffalo for a little bit. He was huge in that Bengal game, Week 17 game.
Sure was.
The shoeless return.
Okay. Have you ever get the privilege of meeting Tremaine Johnson?
Privilege?
No, we didn't get that privilege. Did not. What's the highest degree of belt you've earned? Well, in Muay Thai, it's not a belt; it's an armband. I got a black armband there. What's
that mean?
It's the highest. But that's like it depends on school. It's really based on schools. Like every school has their own ranking system, shit like that. A lot of times, it's either based on how many classes you've taken or whatever else. So, like say for example, I got mine under Nick Catone, but so if I go to a different school, they don't honor it. I'd have to go back down to the bottom. So it's all really based on what school you go to and whatever. So it's not like jujitsu. Jujitsu is so much different where the belt actually carries some weight. Where you're like, listen, if you're a blue belt here, you can go to a blue belt tournament and do all this other shit. Muay Thai is not like that at all. So basically my belt is useless. My armband is useless. Let's see here. Now it's like everything is, did you meet? Here's one for you. Should the Knicks trade for Westbrook? No.
You know what? I'm actually going to say yes. I don't know why, but like just because they've been so bad for so long, like I just want to watch a team that's like competitive. So I think Russell Westbrook combined with Barrett, if you're able to get him while keeping Mitchell Robinson as well. I know his contract kind of sucks. I think it's like for 2, maybe 3 years. He's making like 44 and a half.
Dude. They're in a rebuild.
They're always in a rebuild.
But then do it the right way. They finally got a coach you can believe in, like that can develop young players.
What's the right way though with the Knicks? I mean, they've been trying to do it the right way.
Jay has all the ammunition against us.
Got to start posting some throwbacks of those interviews.
I mean, the Knicks got to stop doing that, chasing the names, man. Just keep getting the young guys and do all that shit.
I feel like that's what they've been trying to do the last couple of years, and it hasn't worked.
They could have been drafted like shit. You guys got to get KFC from Barstool on your team. He led me to find you guys through suggested videos. Fuck, I'd love to have him on. Shit.
Wait, he led you to find us?
I have no idea how.
Oh, suggested videos. That's what.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool though. I feel like we should be on Barstool.
Fuck it. Sign me up for that, man.
The amount that we drink and curse, fucking made for them.
Go to bed, guys. Okay.
Appreciate
it. Let's see. Would you rather have 1 Super Bowl win or 4 straight Super Bowl losses in 50 years?
I guess that was for our Bill fan?
Yes, that was for us. I guess we're not going to bed no more.
I would rather have 1 Super Bowl win because we are a champion. Even though we didn't get to see it, we're still a champion.
Jet, you want to meet the most? Prime time?
Sam.
Yeah, I don't even know. I'd like to meet, I guess you could probably say Sam, right?
What about all time? All time Jet you'd like to meet?
We've met, I mean, there's not really, Namath, like I've been like around Namath. I never really actually met him before, but Other than that, like a lot of these guys, like the Jets have sucked for so long. Their greats are always around because they have nobody else to bring around. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
most of the guys they're always pretty much accessible to us. Oh, there's a Justin McCarron's reference. I was a big Justin McCarron's fan. One day we're gonna do a bad memorabilia show. I got so much fucking. I have 3 autographed pictures of McCarron's and a signed jersey. Fucking tool I was. But that was a great sign when they got him.
Was the second round? Didn't they trade for him? I thought they traded like a second round pick or something for him.
Yeah, they did. Thomas, love to meet Joe Klecko or Freeman McNeil. Klecko's awesome. He lives in Colts Neck. He lives around here. He's always around.
I got to meet him a lot as a kid. He
does a lot of signings, Matt, like banks and stuff. He's always around. Thomas Jones, big fan of him.
Yep.
He signed a lot of autographs, so he was always really good with that. Should have kept Porzingis. Porzingis wanted out, man. He didn't want to stay here.
It was the same exact thing as the Jamal Adams
thing. Yep. Yeah. Let's see here. Should the Knicks trade for CP3?
Probably rather Russ instead of Chris
Yeah.
Paul. But... Whoa! Oh, that's for the Russell Westbrook take?
Yep.
Listen, I'm not saying it makes sense, but just because, again, the Knicks have been so bad, if you're at least telling me that they're going to be somewhat competitive with Russell Westbrook and somewhat exciting to watch, have some offense, I mean, they're not.
That's a fair point. A person to meet would be Becton. This team, I forgot all about Becton.
Yeah,
that's a good call. Very good call.
I'm fucking scared to talk to him.
They probably, Jakai Polite mention. No, none of us met him. None of us wanted to meet him. There was a really good question up here. Let's see. Where the fuck did it go? Thoughts on Jeter running the Marlins? Leon Washington's another good one.
Yep. Shame he got hurt when he did.
Yeah, it is. It's RJ Barrett a bust. Poor guy just got here.
Just like Sam just got here.
Have you guys been to the U.S. Open? The golf or tennis? No.
I don't follow tennis.
No. Where the fuck did this question go? It's a good question too. Hang on, let's take a prime time. How about that one?
I actually have a picture when I was, I think, 13 years old of Chad Pennington in his cast after he had just broken his arm against the Giants in the preseason game, or his wrist, whatever it was. So yeah, he was coming into the stadium. He was all, in his splint and everything, and he still stopped, signed for everybody, posed for some pictures. So that was pretty cool.
He was always really good like that.
Yep.
Here's a question for prime time. How can the Knicks and Rangers be owned by the same guy where one team has been rather successful and the other a dumpster fire?
I mean, it's pretty simple because at least with the Rangers, I feel like Dolan's pretty hands-off. He allowed Glenn Sather and Jeff Gordon and even now John Davidson. He allows those guys who are actual hockey guys to kind of run things. And he's always been fine, like as far as spending money. I mean, money's never been an issue. He'll allow both teams to spend as much as they need, as much as they can. But with the Knicks, it's just been, I mean, he even tried to do it right with Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
I mean,
clown. Yeah, Isaiah Thomas fucking screwed him too.
Yeah, that was terrible. But like the Phil Jackson move, I mean, that was the move that was supposed to get the Knicks back to relevancy.
Dude, they had Donnie Walsh. Donnie Walsh was doing the shit the right way. Yeah. That fucking Carmelo Anthony nonsense.
Yeah.
You ever meet Hackenberg prime time?
Nope. I wish I did.
I never met him either. Did you ever meet Kalen Balazs the whole 3 weeks he was here?
Nope.
Did you get to meet Joe McKnight before his passing? I did. He was a super cool guy. Yeah, he was super cool, man. LaRon Landry, remember him?
Ooh, yeah. Steroids.
Big hitting safety.
I still remember that one picture that like went viral on Twitter with him, like with the
Andrew
protein
Luck?
and no, like with,
no. When he smoked Andrew Luck.
I remember that one.
Oh, he fucking blasted him. That's a great picture of him with the Jets.
I just remember the picture of him like in the tight shirt where his muscles were fucking like popping out of the shirt and everything. Everyone was like, "Yep, definitely."
Dude, this answer is going to surprise you. Did you guys think Kellen Clemens is going to be a franchise quarterback? I did. I like Kellen Clemens, man. I did. I liked him. He was strong arms. I bought all into his nonsense.
He had a couple of good years with the Rams after he left the Jets, but I mean, I never thought he was going to be a franchise quarterback. No,
I did. I bought into that bullshit.
It'd be like my Hackenberg take. Yeah,
listen, at least I'm not scared to admit it. Quentin Copel's mentioned. You guys had all these questions now. Who we met?
Quentin Coples, Aaron Maben,
Remember him?
Vernon Golston.
Oh, I met him too. I met all these clowns. It's terrible. Do a few more here. Darnold Seattle pick from Michael Thomas.
I don't know if the Saints would do that.
The quarterback
that would be interesting.
First round pick.
That would be interesting. Because then, I mean, assuming you're picking number 1 overall, you're basically giving Trevor Lawrence, Mike Thomas as his number 1 wideout, along with Mims and Crowder.
Yeah.
So
how's that a bad thing?
I feel like you probably have to do it.
Yeah, I think you have to do that. Let's see. D. Milner.
I liked D. Milner too when he was drafted.
Vinny was really good before games too, signing autographs. He always signed. He was really, really all about the fans. He loved being a Jet. He loved being in this area. He was awesome.
Yep, got to meet him a bunch of times.
Let's see. What are your Ring of Honor nominees? Oh, I forgot we just did this too a little while ago.
How many we talking?
Say if there's like 3. What about 3? I mean, we just went through this. I forgot the names that we had.
I mean, Curtis Martin.
He's already in there, isn't he?
Oh, like guys that aren't in? I thought we were
Yeah.
talking about like, okay. Mangold, maybe?
David Harris.
Revis isn't in yet, right? He's obviously got to be in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, David Harris probably should go.
Yeah, we'll have to come back down. I remember I went through the list. I'm like, we came up with all the ones we wanted. Let's see.
Make a case for Lavernius Coles, maybe.
What?
What?
The Ring of Honor?
Yeah, why not?
Come on, man. If you're going to do that, Keyshawn should be in there.
He was only here for, 3 years, 4 years?
Fucking Coles in a Ring of Honor?
Oh. He had more catches
man.
than Keyshawn as a Jet.
Oh, come on. Met Michael Vick? I did. I met him with Gino. They were together. He was cool. He was quiet. He was cool with the fans. He wasn't like a jerk or anything. What's it like being a joke of a franchise?
Get used to it after a while.
Yeah, I mean, you're watching it. I don't know. It's like, I'll tell you. You find things to talk about. Let's see. Be honest. When do you think the Jets will win a Super Bowl? Fuck.
A few years away, at least.
Dude, I mean, not even Super Bowl, like playoff contender, like probably 2 years away from that.
At least, yeah.
So you say playoff, just say, I mean, if you get, just say in theory, if you get Trevor Lawrence, you're resetting everything for another couple of years. That's 2 more years of that shit. Yeah. You're probably looking at another 2-3 years of Super Bowl. Fuck. It's 4 or 5 years, maybe. You're competitive. I mean, right? So many things have got to happen. You got to get your quarterback, assuming that you get Trevor Lawrence, you got to have him pan out. Then you got to get a coach that you believe in. That'll work.
There's so much that has to be done before we can even talk about that.
Quentin Coples may have the worst arm tattoo ever.
Oh, with the North Carolina thing.
Coples, man. Oh. Has there ever been a moment with the Jets that made you seriously not consider being a fan anymore? No.
Jets Bills week 17, no?
No, you just it's part of being a Jets fan, dude. Like I went through the fake spike. You go through all this shit over the years. Where, like, think about it. Whenever you sit down with Jet fans, like longtime Jets fans, we could talk for hours about all the miserable moments. And you're like, all right, we'll be back at it next year. Like, you know, it's like this. I don't think there's ever been a point where you're like, yeah, I'm not gonna, like, even like when they changed the stadium, you got priced out your seats. You're like we went through it. Like we would get calls all the time. If they trade Revis, I'm never watching this team again. I do not be honest with you. I was calling the fan when they traded Keyshawn. I was calling the fan every day. Like, you can't trade him. You need him. Parcells likes him. Dude, like, you get rid of him. I'm done with you motherfuckers and all this shit. I was fine.
Yep.
Came back to the draft. I was right back with him again.
Yeah, we'll probably always be there. They have us hooked.
Yeah. Let's see. If you met Christopher Johnson, I have not.
Nope. Glad I haven't. Don't want to meet him.
I met Woody Johnson a bunch of times. He walks around the parking lot and goes to tailgates. He came there to tailgate a bunch of times.
Yep.
How happy are you guys about getting a break from watching our amazing Jets this week? I could not be happier, man. I love this bye week. ecstatic about it, to be honest with you. It's great.
No idea. Great for our mental health. Great for our livers.
Great for everything. My liver's. I mean, I'm not taking the weekend off, but
I am.
we'll do a couple more. I said that about a half hour ago. You met Chris Johnson? No. Oh, the Algro Baltimore game. Jesus Christ. That was on Christmas Eve, right?
Yeah, that was with the Vinny pick six right before the end of the half, right?
99 yards of Chris McAllister. Ruined that Christmas Eve. My parents were like, you're out of your mind. I was throwing shit, kicking things.
Try to forget about that game.
That
was a bad one. And that was a win and they're in, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Being a New York fan of sports, except for the Yankees, just depressing. Well, the Mets are exciting now. They got their new owner.
Yeah, now they are. For the last however many years, I mean, we've been an extension of the Jets pretty much.
Do you think the guys can lose? Can they think the guys that we can lose during a bye week?
I mean, there could always be injuries.
Dude, there could be injuries. There could be arrests. There could be all kinds of shit. You never
count out the bye week.
Never count the bye week. Usually when bad things happen. I'm surprised that Greg Williams wasn't fired, to be honest with you. I thought for sure they were going to make a move there.
Yep.
Jets draft Copels over Chandler Jones. Now Darnold over Allen and Lamar Jackson. Scouting sucks. What's next? I mean, if we're being fair about Sam Darnold, when they drafted him, well, first of all, we were all making fun of Josh Allen, saying he's not. Yep. He's a running back. He's not a quarterback. He's very inconsistent. He's this and that. Nobody wanted Allen over Darnold. Lamar Jackson, nobody was talking about him. Everybody was talking about, right, Sam Darnold. That was
Lamar Jackson fell to what, 32 in the draft?
Yeah.
And Allen was pretty much what we were describing Christian Hackenberg as, which is a big quarterback who was mobile but had zero accuracy. So, I mean, Darnold was the consensus number 1 overall pick by almost every GM. The Browns ended up going Baker Mayfield. And, of course, the Giants were set on going with Saquon. So he fell into our lap. There was no reason not to take him. And I still think if we would have went with Allen or Lamar Jackson, we'd probably be talking about shipping those guys out of town right now also if they were, paired with Bowles and Adam Gase.
Hey, if we're being honest, Copels over Chandler Jones was a disaster. That was all Rex. There's been a lot of shitty picks since then after that, too.
Yep.
I mean, look at the laundry list of guys that haven't panned out. Darren Lee, Calvin Pryor.
Wasn't
Leonard Williams.
There were so many guys on the board when they took Calvin Pryor, too.
Oh, my goodness. Let's see. Oh, there's... No, we've not met Kotite. I probably would have beat the living hell. I just... the anger I had towards Kotite was just... Tyson, was that you who flew a banner over the Patriots practice? No, it wasn't me. But it was me that went on fucking WEI in Boston, thanks to Jay, and talked to their fucking... I talked to Kristen Fourier and the other clown on the afternoon fucking thing and got beaten to shreds on that goddamn interview. Holy shit, that was terrible. Jay got me on there twice. It was Hey Cheaters Look Up. That was the first one.
Yep.
I went on WEI twice, and the second time they just roasted the shit out of me. It was just brutal, man. Those spots are difficult.
Is that interview still out there?
It's bad, man. They just ate me alive. Because you know what it is? Like, it's tough because the Jets suck. They're a laughing stock. So you can't go on there being confident and arrogant and shit like that. I try to be like neutral. Like, listen, man, we're trying to have good fun. We're trying to have this. So they start attacking me, and I'm like, all right, well, then I'm going to defend myself because now you guys are just being pricks. And then they go back on, they insult me and hang up on me. I'm like, oh, that's just great.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Todd Bowles having success in Tampa? I'm happy for him.
Yeah, good for him. No ill will at all. I mean, he's a good defensive coordinator. He just wasn't the right head coach.
He'll get a head coaching. You know what, though? If he takes another head coaching job and has a established veteran quarterback there, it's already there, he'd probably win some games, man. He probably wouldn't be that bad. Developing a quarterback he can't do. He needs a good offensive coordinator and already a veteran
and that was his downfall here. I mean, he went through 3 offensive coordinators, couldn't hire the right guy. So
and young quarterback too. Like he needs like an well, he had Fitzpatrick, but he needs like just an established guy that's already there.
Yeah, won 10 games with Fitz.
Yep. That Buffalo game, Jesus Christ. Who has been the one player you have hated when the Jets drafted him?
That's tough. See, like usually when a guy gets drafted, like I give them the benefit of the doubt and say, all right, we'll see what they do over the first couple of weeks. But like
Kyle Brady
on the spot,
Kyle Brady. I fucking hated Kyle. I wanted Warren Sapp so goddamn bad. I hated the Kyle Brady pick. A fucking tight end, dude. It was ridiculous. Yeah. It was the most ridiculous fucking pick.
I'll go with Doug Bryan just because that was so reactionary to what happened with the Jets-Steeler game with the wild card or the divisional round where they missed the kicks and everything. So they felt like they had to go kicker, and so they take Mike Nugent. I'm sorry, Mike Nugent in the second round. Yeah. You can't take a kicker in round 2.
Kyle Brady sent me back some anger there. That was just pure rage. Let's see. I'm telling you guys, you'd love Australian football since the Jets' last playoff appearance. My Cats have made the playoffs 9 times. Listen, man, I'm at this point. I'm trying to try. I used to actually watch Australian football.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. I watched that. I watched the CFL. I watch all kinds of shit. We already lost the bye week. Gase is still here. That's true.
Facts.
That's a fair point. All right, prime time. 2 more. What's the latest on Becton? There's always a good questions, man. They're all fun to answer. The Becton, I have no idea. He can't breathe.
Yeah, everything's fine. He can't breathe. He'll be out there after the bye.
Yep. Let's see. Yeah, Kyle Brady was a bad pick. Calvin Pryor, Darren Lee, Vernon Golston. There's been some doozies, man.
Milner.
Quentin Cole. Well, people like Milner, though. Quentin Copels, that pick was ridiculous, too. It's never good when they take your draft pick and they're like, oh, lacks energy, lacks a motor. Like, all this shit. It's just like, that was all Rex Ryan. Let's see. Thoughts on Brooks Bollinger?
What's there to think about?
Yeah. This guy just going after Fireman Ed, just trying to get a reaction out of us. Clearly don't know anything about him. You're just going by whatever you think you know, which you don't know much. So good for you, I guess. I'm not really sure. We'll get him on. I'm sure this Chris, the guy calling Fireman Ed a fraud, probably the first guy to ask for his autograph when he sees that in person and ask for a picture.
Yep.
That's
what they all do.
Guy Chris
they all
is.
do.
Yep. Internet keyboard warrior. They'll never say the shit to his face. They'll say all the shit and they want a picture. And then when you hear him talk and hear his side of the story, you'll be like, oh, I guess I'm wrong. But you are. So Jeff Lageman. Oh, the Blair Thomas pick.
Oof.
Another
At least
bad
that was
one.
before me.
Terrible. Stephen Hill, another one.
That was over who is it? Alshon Jeffrey.
Yep.
Who was coming out that year.
Tyson and Prime, would Jets trade first overall for Cowboys quarterback? Say Jets tons of salary room next year. No, we're not trading for Dak. I guess that's.
No, I wouldn't do that.
He's hurt, first of all.
And you got to pay him.
Yeah.
Off a major injury? No.
Who's worse, Chris Herndon or Pierre Desir?
Desir.
Yeah.
Herndon gets the benefit of the doubt because he's a younger guy, but Desir has just been awful.
Devin Smith.
He had a couple nice plays before he got hurt.
Whenever they talk about he's a good guy, not a good sign. Yeah, there were certain draft evaluations where you see it and you're like, yeah, like the Quentin Copels one, you look at the screen, like all the red flags, they were glaring.
Yep.
And almost pretty much everyone came to fruition, which was just.
I'm drawing a blank. Who's that linebacker that we took in the 3rd round?
Anthony Schlegel?
Yes. I'm surprised you got it so quick. I'm like, yeah, great dude, high motor, but he had he had like 0 physical attributes. And I'm like, what the fuck are we taking this guy in the 3rd round?
Yep. Dylan Donahue. There's a couple of them.
Victor Hobson.
He was consistent, though, man. He was solid, though.
He was slow, though.
He was slow. He was big. He was like his shoulders were like he was huge. Yeah, Anthony Schlegel. Jesus Christ. And the funny thing is, he did the Jets used to have draft parties in New York City. It used to be a free for all because that's when the draft used to be on Saturdays. And it was like you get there like 10 o'clock, you drink till like 6 all day long, just get crazy. So Anthony Schlegel was there. So we walk up to him and he has the long hair, this whole look he had. So he signs it. I'm like, dude, you got to write Boar Hunter on there. He's like, you're kidding me. I'm like, no. He's like, oh, I'd be honored to write big Boar Hunter on it. I'm like, fucking awesome. Thanks, man.
That's cool.
Here's your guy, Chaz Schillens.
Oof. From Oakland. He was terrible.
Lorenzo Malden. I like Malden. I'm not going to lie. Bought the jersey, signed it. He did a bunch of events with us.
Yeah. Great dude.
It's back injuries.
Yeah. Phenomenal person. Yeah. It's a shame that he got hurt.
Here you got Chad Hansen or Darius Stewart.
I like both of them too.
I like Chad Hansen more than Stewart, but man, that was a complete disaster.
Stewart was just so versatile at Alabama. I mean, he did so many different things, like, end arounds, and he thought he was somewhat of a deep threat. Didn't do any of that here. Let's
see. Definitely not asking for it. He's a clown. He asks people for money to interview him. Just ask Brian Costello. That is false. I don't need to ask Brian Costello. We're both friends with Ed. Keep trying though, Chris. You can keep making up all the stories you want. You're just going to expose yourself as not knowing shit, which is cool. I mean, that's what some people do. Nice try though. Jarvis Harrison, another one. Let's see.
That was the 5th rounder.
They just need a decent running back. Why the fuck is Gore still playing? I mean, they need speed, man. Like I'd like to see Ty Johnson play more, but
they need a lot.
All right, prime time. Your parting thoughts. First of all, thank everybody for joining us. We appreciate it. We did like fucking almost 2.5 hours, which is crazy. Final thoughts as we go into the bye week.
Thank God it's the bye week. Need a break. My liver needs a break. The season sucked.
And then I guess if we do something on Sunday, we'll let everybody know. I'm not sure. Here you go. This is a good comment for you, prime time. Not going to lie, you guys turn me into a Jet fan. Well, look at this way, C's up. If you join our bandwagon now, this is rock bottom. So when they start winning, you're gonna go for a fun ride.
That's true. Can't get any worse. I don't think it can.
So everybody, enjoy your weekend. We'll reach out if we're gonna do something on Sunday. Maybe do some like red zone or some shit, or pick out. I do Steelers, Bengals. I don't care, but that's it. We'll talk to you guys another hour. This guy says, dude, fuck, I got to teach tomorrow morning.
My bladder can't handle it.
Yeah, we'll talk to you guys either over the weekend or a